criminals.
I used to be a gangster. I used to be a gangster.
They wanted to be a mafia.
I used to be a gangster in the force of lords, known for spraying bodies in many of drug wars. They say I'm a villain, a top-notch crook. I'm getting paid 50 G's for each life that I took. A meeting was called, everybody would join. I'm in the back playing the wall as I flip a coin. Tough decisions to make, a lot of dollars at stake. I was taught to extort, pistol whip 'em and take. Call me an assassinator, hit man for hire. The untouchables are the guys that I admire. I used to be a gangster. I used to be a gangster. I seen big money, real piles of snow. Hey yo, GT get the yayo. That means blow. Respect all rookies, but play with the pros. Sit back and observe and move birds on the low. I go back, Nicky the small Paul, back to Fritz. Up in the hood, he had it good, 12 cents a brick. I'm from uptown, Harlem, where Poe kill rich. Mob style, that gangsta shit. From the package, the brick, to the watch, the whips, to the rings, the chains, getting brains from chick. From the worker to the boss, the house, the boss, to the horse. Picking up raw from sauce. I used to be a gangster, Big Macs and nines, thick stacks, butter cracks, say the powder's divine. Cheese lines, every time, the truth's hard to find. Pretty gorgeous paper boy, bitch, I'll blow your mind. I used to be a gangster. I used to be a gangster.
The young guys who are watching these and admiring the mobsters.
I used to be a gangster.
They wish to be more than just criminals.
I used to be a gangster. I used to be a gangster.
They wanted to be a mafia.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This landlord, man.
This your man Dbanger Thomas, people of the world.
And this is Be Your Own Therapist. How's everybody feeling today, man? How's everything going for you, Banger?
Everything is going well, man. You know, I can't complain, man. How about you on your side?
I really can't complain. I'm starting to get myself back to normal. Like I was just telling you, I still got little episodes where I feel like I got vertigo, where I be getting dizzy and shit. But I'm getting back to 100. You know,
I mean, keep your fluids and everything. How you been doing? I'm sure.
Yeah, I gotta
Keep the
get
water
back.
in you. Yeah.
You know, once a nigga think you over something, you start getting back into your regular thing. You see it ain't right. I can't smoke no 2, 3, 4 blunts, man. You see, last episode I sat up here, I might have smoked 2 blunts, and y'all notice I went dark. I went Navy SEAL dark. A nigga was finished for a second. It was like, hold up, bro. I
Yeah,
gotta
they
get
said,
myself together. Kid gone.
yeah, they
Papa,
said
what's
after
good,
that.
man? I'm sorry, Ben.
Yo,
Yeah, I'm sorry, Bang. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just, chiming in and letting him know that we know that he in the room right now. You know, when a nigga be off cam, sometimes it's hard for them to know what's going on, and then they leave, and it seemed like you ain't put them on. I was listening to a show last night. I see my man on there. I'm gonna give everybody. I'm gonna send all the invites out in about a half an hour. It'll be about 34 to 35 minutes. I'm going to send the invites out like I do all the time. Now, when I send the invites in, when my people's come in and they come in, I try to make sure everybody get to say what they get their time to say what they want to say their piece. And I try not to have it be too crowded. But you know, when it get good, sometimes it just get good. It ain't like I ain't holding on to no detention bell where if a nigga talk too long, he demerited. So, you know, sometimes if my peoples that come in and they feel if they ain't talking the first 5 to 10 minutes, they ain't a part of the show. They out of here. So I say that to say, you know, I try to make sure everybody can get up here and say what they got to say on whatever the subject matter is, and I try to make sure I don't really hold nobody back from saying what they got to say, because my brothers be in they, they be in their bag. So again, I'm gonna send those invites out to everybody. I'm gonna tap it in Facebook. I'm gonna let y'all, be a part of whatever is going on in about 30 minutes. So nobody got to wait and say these niggas getting their shit together while you got your time to say what you got to say. But back to the regular scheduled program. I'm sorry, Banger. Like I was saying, I got to get my shit by to crawl back in it. I smoked 2 months. I tapped out. Niggas see my video go off. I start handing questions. Niggas, I'm just got to say something to let y'all niggas know I still got my ears on, bro. But I tapped out. I ain't ready for it yet. I can't take on the full. And then I guess the shit I got was kind of good too. A nigga never dialed down. You always looking for the best. So I got some of that goody good, and the nigga was on, hold on. My episode paused. Let my niggas take over, bro. My shit paused. My closed caption was paused, man. So I apologize to those that was viewing and seeing that. You probably seen it all in my face, nigga. And I ain't been in die high mode ever, so I apologize. Let's get back to the regular scheduled program, man. What's going on today, fellas? How y'all doing, man?
Yeah, everything is good on my end, Lamb, but I'm continuing to be my own therapist. I'm making this transition with work right now. I'm not in the field how I was, how I was doing the nights at housing sites and everything I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
I have
contract over.
My contract is I have one more day left on that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be making a transition to it, to a new environment and all that, and I'm trying to figure out my lane. I just did the OSHA 10 yesterday, Thursday and yesterday. So
What
I
you mean you
completed the
did it?
OSHA.
They still giving OSHA 10s? I thought that only the 30, you got to have a 30 mandated, almost a 40. So you had a 30 and you did an extra 10 hours?
I did the building maintenance.
Oh, so it's the building man, yeah, because it's that. Don't say it ain't, yeah, because the OSHA 10 and all that don't even exist no more. It's like
it's
you
that.
need 40, you need 40, OSHA 40 now, and 10 is 10 is safety and health.
So it's the 10-hour general industry.
Mm-hmm. And then
That's
the 30-hour and plus the 30. Because I still got my 30. So if I wanted to certify, all I would have to do is take that class you was just talking about, the 10-hour general. That's the general safety joint.
No, not the safety course. This is for building maintenance. Like, this is separate from construction.
Oh no, but I'm saying I would only need a 10-hour safety training class, because as you see, the mandates is 40 hours now. You got to have a 40-hour.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's all you would need then.
Yeah, it's a 10-hour.
It's a 10-hour safety.
And then I don't know how they doing that with Corona. Did they actually push it back to probably like September? Because you know how that worked.
Well, what happened was I happened to get lucky. I made this schedule like 2 weeks ago now, 2.5 weeks ago. I was able to get in on this schedule.
Well, you ain't get lucky, because it was niggas at my site when I was working at that ain't have OSHAs for 2 years. They got lucky. And to the real site managers came and see who's on there without no OSHA. Then niggas is playing Skyler off the site. Sliding off the site.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, that's when you go to your boss the next day, like, notice we got a lot of illegal workers, man.
Yeah.
Them kids were sliding off fast. I thought it was immigration outside. They was just looking for OSHAs. But those fines is extreme.
Yeah, I could imagine. So I'm making that transition, and then I'm doing my best to organize this music project and everything.
Don't lie to me.
Nah, I'm not lying to you.
You got to be lying to me. You're supposed to come to a session you booked for Friday. What's today?
Today is Saturday.
But what you doing? You told the people?
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to get it together.
Okay,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
that's why
saying?
we have to be our old therapist.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And that's bananas though. Because I ain't even talked to you yesterday and I usually would have spoke to
Oh,
you. And oh, the class. I
it
look,
wasn't the
I
class because
was
before the
hold
class,
up,
it was your
pause.
man video. Remember, your
Nah,
man had a video. I know the whole
right.
schedule.
Check it, check it. Right. I ain't even make it to Trizzy video shoot yesterday either. Check it. So I had Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday scheduled to work, right? I went
Mm-hmm.
into work Thursday. Thursday morning was kind of ill. Like the I guess I'll come back to that scenario. But then when I got off on Thursday is when I found out about the class.
This
No,
is
no,
be your
not
own
even Thursday. When
therapist.
I got off Wednesday. When
This
I
is
got off
be
Wednesday, because
this
I
is
had
be
the
your own
class
therapist.
Thursday and Friday.
You
So
go back to that Thursday that you said you're gonna get back to later. Let's get on that now.
all right,
This
so
is be your
basically,
own therapist. So what the Thursday start
right.
off?
So then, all right. So I go to work. It's three other people there. I have the site supervisor number in my phone, and I have the big boss number in my phone. So we collectively we like, so what's up? Old boy gonna be here. Our regular supervisor wasn't going to be there. We already knew that. So they, the other people they saying who was there yesterday, but I'm under the impression we didn't know who was coming in that day. So I'm like, okay, so what we doing? So they already into the mode of calling the first supervisor. They calling him, the one that's normally there that we know isn't coming in. Well, he left early. At that point, we didn't know he wasn't coming in, I guess, but
That we
he
assume
didn't.
wasn't coming in.
Yeah, basically. So they calling him. He not answering. So I'm like, so what's up? What we gonna do? Basically, like, because we want to make sure we gonna get paid. It's cold outside, and it's like 8:35. I didn't showed up to work. I didn't called on my way to work and got to work at like whatever time it was, and
And you
got
still
docked or
not
turned away. Yeah. So long story short, they not getting the answer. And one of them come out and they like, yo, did you call old boy? I'm like, nah. So they like, call him. We out here, this, that, and the third. As they saying this, I'm calling. As I'm calling and I'm talking to him, I see somebody walking, but I'm in a project. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm at a housing complex. Like, so I don't know who's who. So as I'm getting off the phone, old boy pulls up. So we go in, whatever, we getting settled. Call come in. That's big boss calling him now. So
mm-hmm.
he calling him and he like talking to him or whatever. And then I call it this. I don't know what y'all would call it, but he threw me under the bus. So then he like, who's Deion Johnson, right? So I'm like, I'm right here. He like, oh, you told him I wasn't, whatever. So he get off the phone. Once he get
Mm-hmm.
off the phone, he get ready to go into his whole spill. Yo, brother, I'm like, yo, listen. First off, I didn't know you were coming in. I didn't know who was coming in. We didn't know anything. This, that, and the third. I didn't just call on my own. Boom, boom, boom. So, we went back and forth. Like, how you gonna say? Because I started off respectfully, and he like, how you gonna say respectfully, and you cut me off? Because I already know where you going, nigga. Like, we don't call the big boss. We this, that, and the third, and I already know where that shit was going. But at the end of the day, it didn't even happen like that. I was on one side, you know what I'm saying, and you was on the total other side. You know what I mean? You talking about you got stuff going on in your life. We all got stuff going on in our life. We at the bottom of the food chain, actually. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? We in the field as far as like we don't know what's going on sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? So it's politics involved in everything. But
So
but yeah,
basically,
like
he
if I
wanted y'all to take issues into your own hands, and y'all basically waited around to see exactly what was going on, so y'all could see what was this situation for today for the day. So when he actually popped up, it looked like y'all was being lackadaisical and y'all wasn't doing what y'all was supposed to do.
Nah, the dude was late, and I called the big boss, and he was tight because the big boss found out that he was late.
Oh,
So
okay. So this wasn't
I
even the
wasn't.
big
I
boss you're
wasn't.
saying.
Yeah, this was the site supervisor that pulled up.
Okay, he's the one pulled up late.
Yeah, he pulled up late. Yeah,
I'm sorry, I was just trying to catch it all.
yeah. So that's basically, you know what I'm saying. So it's like I was. Oh yeah, we haven't done that in a minute. You took me
But
back, Land, in the beginning, how we used to be like. In a couple of days, you'd be like, "Hold up, that wasn't the day this all started. When did it all start?"
when did this
Yeah,
really start?
lad.
When did
Yeah,
the issues
lad.
really begin? Nigga,
Yeah,
it
when
was
did the
right after
issue
that
really
was
begin?
yeah,
Yeah,
let's
man.
try to figure out where the
That's a
issue really
fact.
began.
Yeah, well, the issues began before that, but it's been I call it a lot, and close. It's been a lot and close death. What I'm saying, around me, within the last couple of weeks. So that was part of it, and
Hmm.
that energy alone was part of it. But just that volatile energy, what I'm saying? It was real volatile. Like it was a couple people around me that agitate me. You know what I'm saying, when I'm there, because when I'm at work, I like to stay in my own zone,
Hmm.
basically. You know what I'm saying, because of the atmosphere and everything. I don't really like to. I socialize to an extent. I'll congregate, you know what I mean, and all that to an extent, and then I keep it pushing. You know what I mean? I do that to fill out what kind of work crew I have around me. You know what I'm saying? And then, but other than that, I just keep it pushing, basically.
So how we
But
looking
not.
for the next situation?
Yeah, man, that's the good question, bro. Like I'm waiting to find out like what's going to
You going through the same bat channels or you got a new plug?
I have I'm going through the same channel, but I have a new plug and a possible another plug, so I'm trying to figure all that out, and I got to do that between now and when the week start, you know.
Nigga, keychain got many keys on it. Unlock doors. I have to do
Yeah.
you check you check all
And
your
in the city, yeah, and then in the city we're dealing with this mandate for the vaccine. So all the big jobs, like if I want a nicer job right now, I'm gonna have to take the vaccine. If
That's
I want
crazy.
an MTA job,
It's
yeah,
funny you say that because you know who don't have to take no vaccine, right? You know
who,
who got exempt from that shit, right? The
who?
federal government.
Oh, the feds.
The federal government, and not the feds only, the feds. Anybody as far as in that situation, in them
That's in
predicaments,
the
anybody's
yeah,
in the federal government.
DEA, FBI,
Judge,
CIA,
yeah,
judges,
yeah.
federal
Prosecutors,
judges though.
yeah, yeah.
Federal, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, because the Fed's not jacking it. This is some I believe, yeah, the country divided on a couple different levels, but
feds done
this
went
is
across everybody head. They ain't gonna let y'all go across
yeah,
theirs. Niggas
yeah,
like,
they
listen,
ain't
we know when the plot is bullshit. We did it. We've been doing this
yeah,
shit
they
from
ain't
day one, nigga. Look how we went at
yeah,
King.
yeah, they ain't jacking it.
Not at
Yeah, they
all.
not jacking. Yeah, they not jacking it. All right, so
Hold up.
outside of that,
Papa, before we get into the proverbs, you got anything you want to say, good brothers? How your day been going? How you
Nah.
I take that as let's get this going. Let's get this. So let's get, where we at? We at 20, the day the 22nd, right?
yeah, the 22nd.
Yeah, let me get the 22nd proverb if you don't mind, Dbanger. Let's start this thing off. Let's get started so we can get these topics, up ahead. And for those that don't know, today's topic is the women of the movement, the Emmett Till story. For those that didn't probably check it out yet, they got on Hulu, I believe, is a 6-part series. The women of the movement is basically giving us a description of what was going on during the time of Emmett Till's murder and how that whole situation went down, and what happened after his death. And we gonna chime into how we feel about how things was going, and how times was back then. This is just that kind of feeling right now. And as we get into Black History Month, like I was proposing to my brothers, we gonna try to pick 4 dominant leaders that we might not be so well rounded on, and we're gonna try to have a conversation about those during Black History Month, just gearing up for a positive year. So I'm sorry, could we get into that the 22nd proverb, Banger?
All right, so Proverbs chapter 22. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, loving favor rather than silver and gold. The rich and the poor have this in common. The Lord is the maker of them all. A prudent man foresees evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. By humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor and life. Thorns and snares are in the way of the perverse. He who guards his soul will be far from them. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. He who sows iniquity will reap sorrow, and the rod of his anger will fail. He who has a generous eye will be blessed, for he gives of his bread to the poor. Cast out the scoffer, and contention will leave. Yes, strife and reproach will cease. He who loves purity of heart and has grace on his lips, the king will be his friend. The eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, but he overthrows the words of the faithless. The lazy man says, "There's a lion outside. I shall be slain in the streets." The mouth of an immoral woman is a deep pit. He who is abhorred by the Lord will fall there. Foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. The rod of correction will drive it far from him. He who oppresses the poor to increase his riches, and he who gives to the rich will surely come to poverty. Incline your ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply your heart to my knowledge. For it is a pleasant thing if you keep them within you. Let them all be fixed upon your lips, so that your trust may be in the Lord. I have instructed you today, even you. Have I not written to you excellent things of counsels and knowledge, that I make you know the certainty of the words of truth, that you may answer words of truth to those who send to you? Do not rob the poor because he is poor, nor oppress the afflicted at the gate. For the Lord will plead their cause and plunder the soul of those who plunder them. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man do not go, lest you learn his ways and set a snare for your soul. Do not be one of those who shakes hands in a pledge, one of those who is surety for debts. If you have nothing with which to pay, why should he take away your bed from under you? Do not remove the ancient landmark which your fathers have set. Do you see a man who excels in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before unknown men. This is a reading unto the Lord. Thanks be the word of God. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
What's going on, Papa? Man, what's your situation looking like?
I'm working on something real quick. My fault. I'll be there.
Nah, you good. Then you say you wanted to give us the psalm also today?
Yeah. I
Back
was
that up.
thinking. Oh, okay. All right, copy. I got you right now. Psalm 22. My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from helping me, and from the words of my groaning? Oh my God, I cry in the daytime, but you do not hear, and in the night season, and am not silent. But you are holy, enthroned in the praises of Israel. Our fathers trusted in you, they trusted and you delivered them. They cried to you and were delivered. They trusted in you and were not ashamed. But I am a worm and no man, a reproach of men and despised by the people. All those who see me ridicule me. They shoot out the lip. They shake the head, saying, He trusted in the Lord. Let him rescue him. Let him deliver him, since he delights in him. But you are he who took me out of the womb. You made me trust while on my mother's breast. I was cast upon you from birth. From my mother's womb you have been my God. Be not far from me, for trouble is near, for there is none to help. Many bulls have surrounded me. Strong bulls of Bashan have encircled me. They gape at me with their mouths like a raging and roaring lion. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax, it is melted within me. My strength is dried up like a potsherd, and my tongue clings in my jaws. You have brought me to the dust of death, for dogs have surrounded me. The congregation of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierce my hands and my feet. I can count all my bones. They look and stare at me. They divide my garments among them, and for my clothing they cast lots. But you, O Lord, do not be far from me. O my strength, hasten to help me. Deliver me from the sword, my precious life from the power of the dog. Save me from the lion's mouth and from the horns of the wild oxen. You have answered me. I will declare your name to my brethren. In the midst of the assembly, I will praise you. You who fear the Lord, praise him. All you descendants of Jacob, glorify him and fear him, all you offspring of Israel. For he has not despised nor abhorred the affliction of the afflicted, nor has he hidden his face from him. But when he cried to him, he heard. My praise shall be of you in the great assembly. I will pay my vows before those who fear him. The poor shall eat and be satisfied. Those who seek him will praise the Lord. Let your heart live forever. All the ends of the world shall remember and turn to the Lord, and all the families of the nations shall worship before you. For the kingdom is the Lord's, and he rules over the nations. All the prosperous of the earth shall eat and worship. All those who go down to the dust shall bow before him. Even he could not keep himself alive. A posterity shall serve him. It will be recounted of the Lord to the next generation. They will come and declare his righteousness to a people who will be born, that he has done this. This is a reading unto the Lord. Thanks be the word of God. Amen.
Amen. Now, what's the reason that you wanted to express the psalm also? Because I know we said that.
Yeah, well, I read it. I read it on my own accordingly because it was the 22nd, and then when I read it, I just thought, does that remind you of something?
No, not personally. It sounds like the week kind of coincide. If you read them all together, it sounds like it's just one huge note.
The psalm or the proverb?
Proverbs.
All right. So the psalm that I just read, did it remind you of anything specific?
No.
What I got out of it was like a depiction of like Christ calling out to God when he was on the cross. That's basically not 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 even the whole part, because like but then again, from the very beginning, but then also, Psalms, they say, was like David's songs to the Lord. So like it's also, David was on the run a lot. He was on the run from Saul.
He was a
He
wanted.
was on he was on the run from his son, all of that. And we could get into that story one day too. That story with David and Bathsheba, not just David and Bathsheba, but like in the beginning of his story. Yeah. But yeah, so that's what I had gotten from it, Land, and I just wanted to know, you know what I mean, if you all were able to get anything else from it.
What's going on, Digger?
Yo, what's poppin'?
Can't complain. How you doing today, man?
I'm all right. I'm over here in this speakeasy. They got the game going. We got the fight going. Gary Russell fight tonight, pay-per-view, and a young boy from the same gym I was in Philly called Schuler's Gym down there. He fight tonight on the undercard, his first pay-per-view. So we in here going to support the situation. And then
You heard
got
it.
the UFC joint tonight. The UFC thing. That's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm doing right now. What's popping, y'all?
You just put us onto that Gary Russell thing. We ain't know that was going on. That's Pop Old Man. He kind of,
Oh yeah, well, Papo needs to know he's fighting an undefeated Filipino nigga tonight.
Yeah, I know who that is.
I don't know the boy. Who the boy?
No, the boy fighting, that boy fast, man.
That boy fast.
That boy fast. Trust me, that
That boy
boy
fast.
yeah, boy. That boy fast, boy.
Okay, okay. And that's who Gary Russell got to fight?
If that's who you said it is, bro, that's who he got to fight. I'm gonna check
Yeah,
it
the
out.
undefeated Filipino boy he fighting, man.
Yeah, that's him. They call it Young Pack. Young Pack is back.
Hold up, let me turn this volume down.
That's how it's gonna be. But Gary
You
Russell,
ain't got to hear the fight to see the fight.
Gary Russell official though.
Yeah, Gary Russell is he fast as shit. He like the fastest thing in boxing. I ain't gonna lie.
Papo put me on to Gary Russell years ago.
The only nigga to whoop his ass is Lomachenko, and he beat the shit out of him too. Bad.
Papo put me on it. Homeboy when
Hey, Dbanger. He beat the shit out of Gary Russell. Bad.
Word.
That's the only one I seen, Land. Everybody else, Gary Russell whooped their ass. I ain't gonna lie.
Where did Chenko
beat
from?
his ass, Land. Look up them
that
highlights.
nigga.
Show
Where
that
did
nigga Papo
Chenko
them
from?
highlights. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Who he fighting tonight?
Yeah, he fighting
Gary Russell fight
Oh,
tonight,
shit.
man.
Don't act like you ain't hear all of the shit he said
Nah, I
when
ain't.
Chenko whipped his ass.
Hog sets.
Yeah, Lomachenko beat the
Then
shit
Hog,
out of him, but
right
everybody
now.
else, he whooped their ass. Ain't nobody whoop Gary like Lomachenko whoop Gary now. Come on now.
Nah. Hold on. We gonna have to. Nah.
You're
That was
gonna
a
have to
setup.
what? I ain't do it.
You only get
Lomachenko
one
did it.
whipping.
That was a setup.
Yeah. It was a setup. Come
How
on,
you gonna
Papo.
have the
Yeah,
men
yeah.
fight outside, right? Why all of a sudden they want to fight outside?
Cause that's what they do,
Nah,
man.
they
They gonna
suckers. They
try to.
know.
They
That's
gonna
how you
try
slow
to.
somebody's speed down. It was all the
They
setup.
What?
slow.
It
They
might
slow
what?
you down.
That's how you slow
The
speed
nigga run
down.
outside, man.
Cause the humidity.
What you
Come
talking
on,
about,
man. That shit make you
Papo?
tired,
He
man.
beat his ass,
You
man.
see
Fuck
what
it,
Rocky
man.
did, nigga.
He
Rocky
took it like a
your boy
man. You
out.
can take it like a man too.
Nah, it's a setup.
Nah, it wasn't no setup. The setups was that fake to the body and come to the
All right.
head and
No,
go to
no,
the
no, no,
body.
no, 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 no. It wasn't set up. All right. Why he ain't fight him again yet?
Yeah, it was a setup and what?
Why he ain't
Gary
fight him
Russell had
again?
way more fights than Lomachenko.
No, forget all of that. Why he ain't fight him again?
Yeah, he know why.
Exactly
You ask
why he ain't
Gary
fight him
why.
again. He want to fight. Why didn't want to set it up inside this
You
time?
ain't hear Gary Russell say he wanted to fight.
He is inside the camp. He is inside the camp.
You did not hear that. I know you ain't hear that.
He inside the
Did
camp.
you ever
You heard
see a
me.
video or anything about Gary Russell talking about he want that rematch with Lomachenko?
Yo, these niggas
Never.
is, how they gonna clown about
Never,
this in the
man.
Philly bar? Don't do this in
We
no
do
Philly
this shit,
bar.
Papo. Don't play
You can do
around
it
here,
anywhere else.
goddamn.
Don't do this in no Philly bar.
What you say,
You
Lan?
can do that anywhere else. Don't clown on my nigga in no Philly bar. That make you seem like a buff. Niggas in Philly or Detroit, if they clown on your hands, you a sucker. So don't do
Oh,
that.
nah. They can't even hear this. They can't even hear this. Them niggas bet on the football game. They ain't playing. They you know how niggas be with that betting on the money line and all that shit, the overs and unders. I don't know all that language.
All right, but let me reverse it. I understand Gary is on tonight. Our topic for the night was actually it was the Emmett Till story. Have you got a chance to see that?
Yeah, I heard about the Emmett Till story and read about it actually years ago before the media, where you couldn't do nothing but read.
Yeah.
Like for real, we come from a different era,
So
and
you
Emmett
know,
Till's story is like that's like one of us. You know how we was when we was young. If we'd have went to any other state, we'd have still been ourselves, man. They'd have came for us too, cause we gonna holler.
yo, bro, the nigga didn't even holler. He
No,
smiled.
but all he did was holler at a chick, man.
He didn't holler,
Yo,
bro. The
They
bro.
said
nigga
he whistled at
smiled.
her. Okay, a
A
whistle,
whistle?
a whoop whistle is a holler back then.
Yo, come
Yo,
on,
It
man.
bro.
don't matter. He's used to hollering. He's from a certain
Yo, bro.
city. That's why his mama came down after that, and the whole city found justice because they was fucking with a city that's with that shit.
But that's in Mississippi,
Nah,
bro.
I'm
You know
good.
how Mississippi was. That's
Say
KK.
it again, Lan.
That was in Mississippi. You know how Mississippi is, bro. That's KKK.
Yeah, but where's he from though? He was
He was from
visiting, don't
Chicago.
forget.
Yeah, he was
He
from
from
Chicago.
Chicago,
He was going
man.
down for a
He
weekend.
from a city where we fuck white bitches.
Well,
You
you
understand?
can't say that was
Hey,
going on in
yo,
Chicago at that
Yes,
time.
it was going on back then. That's why he was
not at
comfortable
that
with
time.
doing it.
Not at that
Not
time.
at that time. That's
Yes, at that time.
1955.
Listen. Jack
We
Johnson was doing it in Alabama back then before Emmett Till.
who's
That
Chad
shit been going.
Johnson?
Listen what I'm saying. Jack Johnson is the first black heavyweight champ.
That's why he was doing it.
Nah, he got arrested plenty of times for it. Look what
Let
I'm
them
saying, D. Now
school
hold
him,
But
on,
man.
he
D.
School
Listen,
him.
let me tell
came
you
out
something.
boxing.
Let him say it's
Let me
Parker.
tell you, I do this shit, D. Now I'm quiet, but listen what I'm saying, D. Listen what I'm
All right,
saying.
all right.
It was a time city life people didn't have to go through all that extra. We went through racism, don't get us wrong. But we was fucking white bitches in the cities. New York, Jersey, Detroit, Chicago. It was pimping going on. It was a lot of shit. If you look at the
You just
history of
read my
pimping
mind.
and listen, if you look at the history of pimping and the time that it really, really started, you'll see niggas been fucking different races, man. You had to be extra secretive about it. But in your hood, you're used to it. Emmett Till wasn't even a full teenager. He's used to his life. Chicago? You gonna tell a little Chicago, a little Chi-Town nigga, I can't holler at a white bitch? Well, nobody ever corrected me for this. So when I get down here in Mississippi, I don't know how it is. I'm being myself. Because there's a
Yo,
lot of black people that went through that but ain't getting no justice. But his family is from a place where we not having that. So he
Yeah.
they got justice for that. You
Because right
feel me?
around the
I
corner, you
watched
got
if
Donald
you
Grover.
watched it, you know his mama wasn't having that.
she
She
wasn't
went, and
with
the
it.
churches came with her, and everybody came with her too. Because you know, black
Yo,
people was like this back then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we
yo,
going down to Mississippi? Where we going? And now it's a bunch of city slickers though. It ain't no Mississippi people trying to revolt. They not gonna revolt like that because they in that shit. But people that like us in the city life, he wasn't with. Listen, man. Listen.
all right. So check it.
Peace.
So check it.
What's going
Peace.
on?
So check it. What I wanted to say, what I wanted to say, nigga, is that
Yeah.
you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, you was dead right. You was dead right about that when you broke that down. Now that's a topic. That's something
Go ahead, Banger. Go ahead.
that's something that I want us to be able to talk about. Also, is that separation that occurred when we migrated from the South as a people. We migrated from the South, and you pinpointed something when you brought up the pimping, the history of pimping and everything. Now we're gonna get back to that. We not the history of pimping, but we're gonna get back to the separation and everything from when we migrated from the South as a people. But look, check it though. All right, so as far as the story go, right now that makes sense what you were saying also, right? Now you pinpointed something as far as like him being a city kid and being down there, and it triggered something because one of his cousins said that when they came out the store and he wolf whistled, they looked and he was shocked at their surprise, and that's when they took off. They took off, and then the cousin said that because of their reaction, that's when he was even more afraid because of their reaction. So it was something that made a lot of sense what you said, but it was just bananas though, man. Like when the wife came with her lie and how they really tried to push that as the narrative, that lie that he had what he had said to her and how he
Yes.
came behind the counter and all of that. Like yeah, it was bananas, man.
You know why though, D? Let me tell you why though. No disrespect. Let me tell you why though. It's because these are the certain white people that really don't like that type of shit. So you got to understand what state we go to or whatever. We don't own nothing over here. So you got a different kind of white people in different kind of states. Now we in Chicago. These white people is more like you know, you got gangsters and shit. Like it's a lot of shit going on. Like they different kind of white people. They racist too, but they not like racist like down south racist. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when a nigga whistle at a white woman in our town, they used to it. We used to, you know what I'm saying? We get a little arguments about it, little bickering. But down there, they like a total separation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the reason why he feel comfortable is because he from the state, like I said, but that I failed to mention is because the white people in his area is kind of cool with that or used to that, or they not thinking about that, or they thinking about something else. This is why the big cities run shit, because they was thinking more about money or progressing on another level. They wasn't thinking about that down south shit, that old country buck hillbilly killer nigger shit. They like, man, fuck that, man. Fuck all that. It's obvious. It's not even my opinion. That's not even my opinion at this point, D. You know why, Banger? Because that's not even my opinion, because that's history and it shows. So when you deal with this shit, you got to deal with facts and history. And we have opinions because we all black. But if you look at the facts of life, this is what you get.
But then you going back to the book. You read in the book are the niggas who did it. They the ones who actually told the guy who published the book, who wrote the book, what went on.
What's bananas?
Because they ain't got to tell no stories, though. His family could have came down there and got no results for nothing, because you know how them crackers did. They could have just murdered everybody that came down. What was people going to do about it if they did, when they've been doing this for years? So it's obvious that it's other crackers involved to get this job done. I'ma just say, did black people have that kind of power? We could just get the job done. Who we got in court? I'm just looking at the facts, not even my opinion. That's all.
That was KKK land.
Yeah, facts. Mississippi? Hell yeah.
That's
Look at the history of Mississippi. That's what they had to go against. Chicago beat Mississippi on a racist murder. Straight up.
Yeah, but they didn't even beat them though. Like,
Hey, yo, Digger, turn that Nancy TV down, yo.
He in the club watching the fight.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's good,
They didn't even.
What's up, bro? How y'all?
You can't complain.
What y'all got going on, man? I ain't gonna stay too long though, man. I just wanted to tap in with y'all real quick, right? So
right. We had this the women of the movement is the Emmett Till story. Basically, they just had a 6-part series on Hulu where they was breaking down which Digger was stating the book, where the Emmett Till murder, how it actually happened, and they was showing us we just breaking it down from our opinion on how we felt about the situation.
All right, so like I said, I don't wanna invade with Emmett Till and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to tell my bro something from the block, what I got going on. And then y'all can get back to it. I ain't gonna hold y'all. All right. We just did the joint with Vado, right?
All right.
So I'm gonna bring the video to the hood. Got the little dude that shoot the baby video from Charlotte. We're gonna fly him up there. Gonna do the joint with Vado. Try to get Dave East and Banks to pull up. And this is like coming like real soon. I was gonna call you on the phone and just tell you this. You feel what I'm saying?
All right.
So I got that coming like yesterday. So you know, it's just me. I'm about to bring some shit to the block. You feel what I'm saying? And I want niggas outside.
I'll definitely be present. You already know.
Definitely.
Right.
So, you know,
I will be there. When you want that? When that's gonna pop?
I'm doing that. I'm gonna hit V. Like, I meant to do it yesterday, but I'm gonna hit him like tonight probably, and I'm gonna go ahead and just get the date, because once you give me the date, you coming to the shooting.
Hold on, yo.
Yeah, because you know you got that country.
Tell you hold on. If you ain't talking, nigga, you silent.
But yeah, Lance. So you know, I'm going back to the fact here, okay? Well, you know, I'm gonna see if he gonna come outside.
Okay.
I'm you know, gotta be.
The day. I'll tell him the day too that you saying what's going on. I'll put the bird in.
Soon as I hit Vado, and As soon as he give me the date, it's a done deal. You know what I'm saying? The song is already laid. That shit is going into mastering like as we speak. It's probably there already. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Already got the joint. Shit fire. And like I said, I'm bringing something back up top to the hood, to the block. You know what I mean? So, homie out there, they just dropped that album with him and Lloyd Banks and Dave East, the council shit. And I think he dropped his shit, some shit like that. I think his shit came out today. But at the end of the day, bro, we working, and that's what I got going on. So, salute to the bros. I'm coming up top with this shit.
I appreciate you, bro. Just hit me. I'm gonna stay in contact with you.
Yeah. Hey, who fighting? That's that MMA joint?
It's the MMA joint and Gary Russell, but the MMA joint gonna be popping. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that's why I'm about to get dressed. That's why I ain't going to stay too long. I'm about to go to this joint and watch it.
These two big black niggas fight.
Hey yo, Land, keep doing it. Y'all niggas keep working, B.
I
You already
appreciate you,
know,
bro. You already.
Salute, bro.
Hey, Dub, I'm gonna hit you, man, because I really didn't hear everything because my mom's had just called. But I'm gonna hit you and figure out everything you was just saying.
All right, I got you, bro.
All right.
All right, we can reset it. Hug, what's going on, brother? Golden Child, what's going on? I'm sorry we ain't hear from y'all. Y'all came in the room.
Yeah. I was just when everything was getting kind of live, man, I was just trying to chime in to the point where I don't know, my man was saying like Dbanger was agreeing, like he was on point to a certain extent, because I feel like, up north, like you were saying, the Chicago area, the white people and the black, they were already separated, you know what I mean? So, but down south, it's integrated, you know what I mean? They still had to separate, but they were still in the same city. But in the city in Chicago, you had one side where niggas really wasn't even welcome. They didn't have their money up to even be on that side. So white people really wasn't tripping off African Americans in the north like that. How they down south, everybody stayed together. They was in the same city, but they still had to drink from different water fountains and do this and that. So when Emmett went down there, they bet him to whistle at the white lady. It wasn't like he was trying to get at him first because he was a little boy, but like he said, he didn't expect the backlash because of the interactions it wasn't as heightened up north in Chicago. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
I was agreeing with a lot of what he's saying, but it was past that because he still was a little boy, so he wasn't like he was trying to get at her. You know what I mean?
And like that's saying, the point you making is like it's two different things when you on the same level and they was above. So was that really the issue, that we got these niggers on the same level as us and they can actually touch us if they not working for us, whatever, and he's talking to us like he's one of us,
right?
Because he's used to communicating with white people like we're just, I'm not saying sir or ma'am or master, but
right.
Hello,
at least interacting, and not even communicating, but at least interacting. They still had to deal, but only when they was on that side. But down south, like you said, that they was like, how dare this little nigger whistle at a grown woman? We gonna make an example out of him. You know what I mean? And that's how that went, because as he said, down south, it was a whole different wave, because they knew better down south. Don't even try this. You knew it was a caste system. You knew where you was at, where you were supposed to stay. Don't even try to cross that line, teeter that line. So let's make an example out of him.
Yo, you know what's bananas? What just came to me is that, like, even in the midst of all of that, like the games that are played, like they sat there with the mockery of that all white male jury, the judge, all of that, when they already, like, everything was already pre-designed, like, obviously, because like,
it's showing you that you are not even a part of this system. Fuck what you talk about. You thinking you gonna get justice where?
There was no justice. That was their justice, because they called the shots. And not to cut you off, Dbanger, but I haven't seen the EMMETT show yet, but I seen like the previews, and they said the sheriff in that town, before they didn't even send the body back to his mama. He had ordered to close the casket
Facts.
and bury that boy down there
Well,
without even his
Yeah.
mama's,
Within 24 hours, hog.
without
Within
even his
24
mother even
hours.
saying or seeing him, or and because they was trying to cover up
yeah.
what they did, and
Yeah, that's a fact.
and
And
his
then
mom had
even
to press play up there and get on the phone, and the mayor or whoever in Chicago had to call down and put a stop to that. Like, y'all can't do that to this lady. She got, and then even when they sent him up there, they said keep the casket closed, and she like,
Hey, main man, what's your name, main man?
oh,
Hey, Hobbs, say that again. Who had to tell them people not to do that again?
it was like the mayor in Chicago, something like
The
that.
mayor of
Who
Chicago.
was the mayor of Chicago
nah,
at that
it was the NACAAP or something like that that helped.
Nah, it was the mayor.
They
It was the mayor.
and
I
the
You
got
gotta read the story,
I got
yo.
NAACP got the ball rolling, but the mayor he got the juice to make that call. Y'all
Yeah.
can't make that move.
And now, wait, my reason for asking you that is this, and I'm gonna be quiet, I'm gonna mute my mic. But my reason for asking you this is this, because it was certain white people out there at that time that just wasn't with that shit, Holmes.
the sheriff.
The mayor didn't have to stick his nose in no nigger's business at that time. Would he be looked upon whack in his city? Nah, the whole city came behind it. Like you said, Land, the NAACP. But the mayor had to make that call. Like, hold up, y'all nah, hell no. Fuck y'all doing.
Right.
So
But at
it
that
was at a
But at
time.
that point, if
Yeah.
y'all
Go ahead, I'm
gathered
gonna mute my
together-
mic. Go ahead.
At that point, if y'all gathered together and y'all marched and y'all niggas had a point, you was gonna be heard. And her son was 15 and murdered somewhere by these white boys. They ain't have no answer. Like he said, they ain't want to send the body. Then when they sent the body, they ain't want you to identify the body. Then after that, even in court, they denied that was his body.
Yeah.
So then
They
what
had niggas
happened?
change up the whole story where now the coroner trying to say that that I don't even know if that was Emmett Till's body. That couldn't have been his body. So it was so much that went through that whole process. If they
It was
didn't have
his, B. Because that pictures of them autopsies with his face and his tongue fucked up, that was him. They figured everything out.
it was a
Everything
ring.
got exposed, B. That's why I know this, because I read it. I'm telling you, and then the books back then had different pictures, and you can't even find these books now over this internet shit. Like to really read and see all the knowledge. Like that shit is fucked up, man. This internet shit is it's informative, but it's kind of watered down.
You know, you just can
For the
eliminate
scholars, though, for who want to know, like us.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, bro, what I wanted to say. Yo, yeah, thank you, man. So what I wanted to say was, one of the key things that his mom did, she contacted the newspapers, and also the mayor of Chicago had gotten involved as well. But and then there was something else that I was, we had already talked about the sheriff, so the ill thing about this is about his father and how his father was in the military, and his father was murdered while he was in the military. He was murdered in the military.
The same thing that they try to say that his son did.
Yeah, he was accused of something pertaining to a white woman, and that was overseas. That was during the war that he was in the military, and he wound up being murdered for that. And
Before his son died, he did.
Yeah, way before his son died.
I didn't know that.
They try to bring that up in the trial, saying basically.
So that Emmett Till show that's on Netflix,
Hulu.
Okay, I got you.
What was you saying, Ben? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so basically, they were saying that the telegram that was sent about his death was a lie. They left out the truth about his death. Said he died by his own fault. 61 years after his death, the transcripts were obtained. Basically, so it basically said that a female was raped and Lewis was killed for it, but he was wrongly convicted. The female never identified him or or any of that. He was wrongly convicted of that right there. Now, when you were talking about
So you went
when
back and
you
did your homework on the father. You actually found out that the father was actually accused of actually the same thing that he was accused of and murdered somewhere else
yeah that
prior to him in the war in World War what?
yeah that was during World War II. These were the notes that I took during the course of the documentary, basically, right? So
Mhm.
so when you all were talking about when you had mentioned how they came back to say the sheriff had come back to say that it wasn't Emmett, right?
Mhm.
That was all right. So the two white men that murdered Emmett,
No, that
they
wasn't the
beat.
sheriff though. That was the
Hold up, hold up. Give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second, bro. So the two white men that murdered Emmett, right? They hold up. Was it? Yeah, the two white men that murdered Emmett, right?
Mhm.
They they were found not guilty of the murder trial. So
Mhm.
then the feds came in. The feds came in. They were so
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the feds. After that, the sheriff arrested them on kidnapping charges. After
yeah,
they
so
beat the murder charges, the sheriff rearrested them right after they trial on the kidnapping charges. Now, on the
yeah, but it was
kidnapping charges, it didn't even go to trial.
but what I was getting to was that it was the federal government, November 10th, 1955. The the published oh no, that's when they had published Louis Till's army record, November 10th, 1955. That was the false report of the rape.
I
And the
know. I'm
charges
telling you, it
they
wasn't.
tried to use that basically to say that he was just like his father. That was during the kidnapping. That was during the kidnapping trial,
Next
basically, that
time
they
you
did
got
that.
your notes and you jot them, you get them right for the. No, I'm just messing with you.
So what's the
Now, what did I
connection
have
with
wrong?
them and Emmett Till though?
Yeah, what it
Well, it was
oh
connection was it was his pops, and they was trying to say basically the apple don't fall too far from the tree. Look, his pops got caught up for the same situation. So this guy, this little kid, this is what he does. This is what they family do. So when he got caught up, that was their justification. Nah, look, he's just like
But
his
was
pops.
this? You said his pops was in the military.
Yeah, his pops was in the military across seas when this happened. So he was probably like in Israel and all of them places back in the same state that we was living in America, racist, and then they
But
over
picture
there.
his pops back then before Emmett Till time. Imagine how extra racist it was.
But
Overseas
not to
too.
defend, not to defend his pops because his mom's only gave a brief description, and she said that man used to beat me. He was a horrible man. So I'm not even going into all of. She didn't believe the rape, but she's saying he ain't no saint. She wasn't with him. So as far as them trying to say that he had some type of infliction in Emmett's life, this is what he installed because, but her point is Emmett's father was never around, and that wasn't even a case that they found to see if it was true if his father did that. So that's why I was asking Banger if he actually did some homework on the father because he was saying that he was falsely accused.
one of the things that was ill about it all, and within the kidnapping trial as well, the ring, how they identified him. His mom knew it was him because
Mhm.
he had his father's ring on his
Yeah.
finger. May 25th, 1943, it said um on Louis Till's ring.
He had
And
stole the
and
ring
and
from her right before he went on a trip from out her jewelry box
Man, that's wild.
because she
yeah,
wasn't
so
even
that's
Now,
supposed
how
to.
was his father killed in action, or he was just killed another way?
no, his
No, he
father
wasn't
was
killed in
killed.
action.
His father was murdered over there while he was in World War II, which was probably like in Germany or something,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, but he was
But he
fighting,
was
physically
accused.
fighting in the war.
No, they try
Yeah,
to say his pops was arrested and got treated. Somebody treated him in the same fashion that Emmett Till got treated. Somebody took it into their own hands without saying that much. They say he was convicted of a rape and murder and got killed.
Yeah, that's crazy right there.
Hey, I showed up kind of late. What did the proverb say today?
Banger, if you don't mind bringing it back.
My bad. What he said?
What was the proverb today? We always start off on a proverb. The proverb usually land on whichever the day, whatever day of the month it is. Today being the 22nd, it was the 22nd proverb.
You mean a proverb as far as going in a good book and finding one?
No, he's gonna.
Yeah, the good book. Yeah, the
Yeah,
good book.
Banger's gonna explain.
When's your mixing with the black
Or
and white book?
because the book of Proverbs is the
Huh?
book of Solomon, and he was
Knock,
spitting that
yeah, knock,
that slick
just
shit.
fucking
So
dread
we can
knocker.
figure out something slick to
Everybody
say
was off
too, and
of
have
him.
our book of
Them
Yo,
should have
Proverbs.
been like a top 10, top 5 more.
the man.
He said we can have our book of Gravedigger. It wouldn't be Solomon book if it's yours. But yeah,
Hey, you gotta understand what the
Always
Bible
fucking
is.
right.
It's the books of different greatest hood reporters.
But the
People that
Gravedigger
was
gotta weigh 10 bodies.
said, all right, we could say that we what we say, is gold. You know what I'm saying? What we say people could follow. So that's the book of the Bible. It's different people that made different books and it's compiled. That's like everybody who say the greatest lyricist who really is, regardless of our opinion. Like if it was a computer that said, nah, these niggas really care about us. If those made a book, that would be a
you muted yourself in the process. I ain't hear the last part. He said, "Yeah, I muted myself."
if them was the people that was to do it, that'll be our Bible for the new generation. And now I'm muted.
But he going from Solomon, like you said. So could you give us a 22nd proverb?
Okay, that's what's up. I understand. Okay, cool. Solomon was wise though. They said he was wise. They said he was a sharp boy.
I like
They said
that.
he was a sharp boy.
But we
Yo,
going with Solomon.
we going with Solomon.
Yeah.
I understand that.
All right,
All
Banger.
right, so chapter 22. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. Love and favor rather than silver and gold. The rich and the poor have this in common. The Lord is the maker of them all. A prudent man foresees evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. By humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor in life. Thorns and snares are in the way of the perverse. He who guards his soul will be far from them. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when
Wow.
he is old, he will not depart from it. Which one? 5 thorns and snares are in the way of the perverse. He who guards his soul will be far from them. That one?
No, I was saying wild off the train up a child because, like you said, we was talking about Emmett and he jumped off as a shorty. You know what I mean? So it's like
Perfect right there.
Yeah.
For our topic, that's true because when he gets older, he'll remember them tools he was taught. Facts. That's mean. That's
and
mean.
the fact that he didn't even get a chance to get old, he was just going off what he knew as a child. You know what I mean? How he perceived the world up to them 14 years. So he didn't get a chance to hold on to anything. And that's how he reacted to the white lady because he just got, dared by his cousins. He just trying to have fun, be a little child. He wasn't even able to, process anything that he came up in them 14
And
years.
as a fact,
Not only
right there for a further example of what you're saying, that make more sense because from the proverb he talk about, it said, give a child that so they know when they get older. He wasn't even given that yet.
That's what I'm
He
saying.
wasn't even given that yet. So you definitely got to be in your kid life, B. That's why I'm about to make this next trip. That's real talk right
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. He who sows iniquity will reap sorrow, and the rod of his anger will fail. He who has a generous eye will be blessed, for he gives of his bread to the poor. Cast out the scoffer, and contention will leave. Yes, strife and reproach will cease. He who loves purity of heart and has grace on his lips, the king will be his friend. The eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, but he overthrows the words of the faithless. The lazy man says, there is a lion outside, I shall be slain in the streets. The mouth of an immoral woman is a deep pit. He who is abhorred by the Lord will fall there. Foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. The rod of correction will drive it far from him.
Man.
He who oppresses the poor to increase his riches,
all right, go ahead, it's more.
and he who gives
Continue, Vega.
he who oppresses the poor to increase his riches, and he who gives to the rich will surely come to poverty. Incline your ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply your heart to my knowledge. For it is a pleasant thing if you keep within you. Let them all be fixed upon your lips, so that your trust may be in the Lord. I have instructed you today, even you. Have I not written to you excellent things of counsels and knowledge, that I may make you know the certainty of the words of truth, that you may answer words of truth to those who send to you? Do not rob the poor because he is poor, nor oppress the afflicted at the gate. For the Lord will plead their cause and plunder the soul of those who plunder them. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man do not go, lest you learn his ways and set a snare for your soul. Do not be one of those who shakes hands in a pledge, one of those who is surety for debts. If you have nothing with which to pay, why should he take away your bed from under you? Do not remove the ancient landmark which your fathers have set. Do you see a man who excels in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before unknown men. This is a reading unto the Lord. Thanks be to the word of God. Amen.
Amen. Papa, why the fuck you pop up like that? Hey, Grace, what's going on, man? Please tell the people something, man.
Hey, you know what's crazy, yo, Land? Yo, Land. You know what's crazy? The fact that we was talking about Emmett Till, right? And when we all recognize that part where he said about give your son or your child that, so when he grow up, he won't follow that same path, but he'll have them tools. Everything he said after that was kind of like talking to like a child, like his son, like his little man or something, you know what I'm saying? Or a young boy on the block you see who need the guidance. Every parable after that fell in line with that. Once you get there, everything he said after that was like, once you get there, this stuff is going to happen. It's going to come in your life. And you got to be able to decipher between the two of every parable. That was mean right there.
Yeah, that's why
it was like a lyricist, like one of the greatest lyricists of that time.
I'm sorry, y'all. Hey, Grace, please chime in. You got to let the brother chime in.
Wow. What's going on, good brothers?
What's happening?
What's going on, Grace?
What's happening, man? Good evening.
Happy belated birthday, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Same to you, good digger. Happy belated birthday, brother.
120, happy birthday.
Mine was yesterday.
Happy belated birthday to all y'all.
I'm bullshitting, man. Hog, you know me and your birthday around the same time.
Hey, I want to say one more thing about my man on that great difference. Like, also, Banger, you see on the 15th when it say foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod drives out the correction. And you know, Emmett was a young boy just trying to have fun with his family. But it was foolish of him to make that whistle to the white lady.
He didn't whistle. Why he never whistled? The lady died 2 years ago and said he never whistled. He never whistled.
He never
whistled. He really did not whistle.
But what they were saying,
he said a lady just died. The lady just died and said the lady just died. And
she admitted to say her whole testimony was fake. She lied.
But
she never whistled.
I was saying on the lines of the Proverbs. That's why I'm saying like foolishness will, you know what I'm saying? It say foolishness bound in the heart of a child. You know what I mean? He did something to trigger that, and that's why the rod of correction.
He ain't do nothing. That's how
but
it
he
was.
did do something. You know what he did? He
looked
left
at
his
her.
fucking.
He looked at her.
He left his mother and where he was trying to go and chill with his cousins. And them niggas know exactly how it was down there. And them niggas led him into a pit.
Yes.
Because that's the same shit that happened. I'm going to make a joke out of it right now to Michael when he went to the wood with Stacy. But Stacy just whipped his ass. You know, he went to the hood. You touched the black sister ass. What the fuck you doing? Nigga? I don't care if they did you.
That's because they feel like they should be able to do what they want to do. We're human.
But no,
certain people don't care about that shit. Certain people feel like I'm human, I'm gonna do what I want. But they probably should have schooled that nigga. Like, look, man, you can't be doing all that shit you be doing out there in Chi-Town now.
Scared him to do it.
Listen, this is what happened. Do y'all really know the real story? Have y'all
They
seen
the
grandfather?
Who taught y'all that?
Huh?
He said, "Who taught?"
I'm saying people said who dared him. They almost dared him to do it. Where you read that at?
Nah,
Why would they almost dare him to do it?
They went to the candy store.
They dared him.
They went to the candy store. These kids is playing around. She came in there. They don't like niggas anyway. So why y'all
how
niggas?
You can say that when she got a nigga working for y'all?
What?
They got a nigga working for y'all. That's the nigga who told, the one that was a snitch in the back.
Nah, you got it.
You know, it's always the Samuel L. Jackson.
Nah, ain't nobody snitch. Ain't nobody snitch do nothing.
But
they did.
They
How
went
they
into
find
a store.
out anything? Somebody snitched on something.
Let me hear his version.
Let's what?
Go ahead. We listening to your version. I'm trying to hear what you
From
saying.
what the actual guy that was alive, his grandfather told the story, right? They went in the store. They was playing. I guess it was a candy store. Them niggas was playing. Whatever happened, she said he whistled. Okay, we don't know that. They went back home. They knew it's a small. They know where these kids is from because the other two is from. You know what I mean? These niggas got drunk. They was
know
drunk.
Where they was from because
drunk.
They worked for them at the store. One of the black boys worked for them.
One of the black boys worked for the candy store.
He worked at the store. He the one that took him to the house, bro.
They came and got in
the store. Listen, the store has nothing to do with it. It was the lady. The store has nothing to do with it. The store is the store. Let's cut the store out. The lady was going in the store. They're going into the store. Okay, that happened. He went back home. These niggas got drunk, and then they came searching for them at night. The grandfather came to the door. They said, "Do you got the nigga from what's the blah 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 blah?" And he said, "No. You know what I mean?" Yo,
he said, "Is that the boy?" He said, "Is that the boy?"
Something like that. They came
2:30 a.m. They came and took him out the house.
And then they took him out.
He said, "No." He said, "Where that little nigga from Chicago?" You know what he said?
Whatever he said, they knew he wasn't from around. Yeah,
facts, Land.
But check it. This is what I was saying on the Proverbs tip. You know what I mean? Foolishness is for the child. You know what I mean? And while the rod of correction drives that out, so they can make the better decisions. And that's all I was saying about that. Like, I don't know about the whistle or the store.
Yeah, man.
But I was just trying to make the point, make the connection of the Proverbs Dbanger was given to us. You know what I mean? Because that stuff correlates, man.
I feel you.
But they probably,
Emmett
from being from
at the
Chicago,
end of the day, he was
playing
talking to
around and shit,
Proverbs.
like probably loud like Bam, like yo, y'all niggas too loud. You know what I mean? Like yo,
loud like Bam.
You know what I mean? He from the city, like yo, you know what I mean? So he was probably bringing attention, but he was.
Yeah, he didn't whistle, but he was hanging with his little cousins, and they sent him off like, "Hey, do this." You know what I mean?
Say it again.
You said they sent him off and told him to do it.
Yeah, and they like that feeling of freedom, man. Like, come on, man. Who not gonna like that feeling of freedom, man? That's how it is. I wish Double was on here. When we went down south the first time and they felt us, they was loving that shit. People don't be like, come on, man. You be spreading that joy of freedom, man. It happened to us. I know us. I know us.
This is years after the Strange Fruits.
I seen Bam run up on a movie set, my nigga. Like in real life, yo, Tim Robinson, a real movie star. Like he was getting a good sum every movie. Ran up on that joint and been himself, B. You know what them crackers did? They listened to everything Bam said. I ain't trying to hear that shit. Them young boys felt that freedom from Chicago. They said, man, we like this shit. Whether they did him or made it, man, none of that was, it's no justifying none of that. My nigga, like, I'm not trying to hear none of that.
Especially the way that like the way,
hey, yo,
that shit right there, yeah.
And then not for nothing, like as far as like the documentary went, like the whistle that came from the cousin, Pop. The cousin was there. Like nobody was saying. Like I guess the other part came out, but the cousin was saying all this.
So
One of
this
the
is
cousins.
this is years later in this documentary. The one that I seen was like,
Oh yeah, you didn't see
oh,
this one then because this
so
joint,
what?
the cousins are older and they
Okay.
telling the story. The grandfather is there. The grandfather is there that you talking about in this one also on Hulu. I don't know if it's the same one, but the cousins.
So what the cousin say?
They were
In the
all standing outside.
in the documentary, the cousin said
He went inside the store.
It was a wolf whistle, and he was shocked. Emmett was shocked. He was scared by their surprise because they got scared once he did it. Like, oh my goodness! Now that correlates with what? Now that correlates with everyone was saying as far as the city and the South. Now that correlates with that. And then they said that he was scared because of their reaction. Then, but because of he was shocked because of their reaction, right? And then when they left, he was even more afraid because of that. So that correlates back again that he was out of his element and he was in unknown territory and he wasn't really schooled. He wasn't really schooled on how to behave.
Operate there.
Navigate.
Yeah.
So now the cousin said that he did a wolf whistle. You said that's what the cousin
like
said it.
A wolf whistle is a my girl told me about
a
it
wolf
earlier.
whistle is this
It's a
right
certain
here.
way.
Let me tell you what a wolf whistle is. When you see a girl, you go,
like that.
yep, like
okay,
goddamn. That's a wolf whistle, man.
So now after all these years, this is his first time saying it, or he's been saying it the whole time.
Well, even when they showed it, he didn't get a chance. Nobody whistled until she came out the store. Everything that happened inside the store. When he went inside the store, he smiled at her, and she looked at him, and she just gave that glare, and then he paid her, and then after that, he made a little look. He didn't do anything. Then she walked out of the joint. She got the gun because after he walked out, the other dude whistled when he was walking out the store. She come out the joint with the gun, and then that's when everybody split.
So now after all these years, now the cousin is saying that he did whistle, and now the lady that died say that he didn't whistle. So which one is it?
No, it's not the lady that died say he didn't make any statement.
You saw after all these years.
The lady
no,
didn't
she
say
just
that wasn't. The lady didn't say anything that he didn't
2021.
do.
What cousin is alive now?
He didn't say anything.
That's what he said. He said the cousin said that.
She didn't say anything that she didn't do. What she said was her testimony was false. He did not do anything that went on. That's what she stated before she died. She didn't say he didn't do this or he didn't do that.
Go ahead.
Oh shit, he pulling that plastic out. Get them drinks, B. I want to.
Yeah, you've got to unmute yourself. Go ahead. So my fault. I didn't see the documentary, but this is
my fault, Pop. Her testimony, her testimony, which was a bold-faced lie. He grabbed her hand, wouldn't let it go, and he said that he had sex with women up north and could have sex with her. That don't even sound like something a 14-year-old would say in 2022, let alone
I might have
back
said
then.
it, but
And now,
like you ain't never had that much courage. Cut it out.
I might have said it.
You said it to a piece of paper.
Now you know what's whack though? You know what? June did some shit, right?
Don't do that.
Nah, listen, I'm gonna tell you. So, what's the store that on 40? I believe it's on 45th. All the Jamaicans used to hang, like the little Jamaican store. Before you get to the Jamaican store, it's like right there on the corner, right? So me and June is in there. It's me, June, Rain. So it's a crackhead. She's like an older lady, but you know she she on that shit, but she's ordering a sandwich.
She
So
know
June
Emmett
goes,
Till.
but no, listen, I'm just saying, and how niggas be stupid. So June goes, yo, Pop, I bet you won't touch her butt. I was like, what the fuck you playing with? The nigga takes my hand, right, and smacks her ass with it. Yo, she turned around.
But that's what's crazy.
But I'm saying we just being kids, like, you know, stupid. The nigga takes my hand and smacks her ass, so she turned around like making like, oh, you know what I mean? And
but you said like that. I stated
it's
it, and
just
I made it like I
yeah.
made it like a reference of The Wood. How Michael, he moved to a new neighborhood. As soon as he moved to the new neighborhood, like it always happened, he meet two dudes. One of the dudes tell him, "Oh, you like that girl? She look good. Oh, she talking to you. I dare you do this. You go do that. Then you find out she got the brother Stacy. Now you got to deal with Stacy. Who's Stacy? The biggest thug in the hood. But that's what it like. That's just life. You feel me? I'm saying you seen that in many pictures, but at this point. He didn't even do that much.
Yeah. Hey, I want to ask. Like, this came out right. But what was the motivation as far as saying what she? Was that? I'm gonna check the documentary out. Was that explained? Why she go that far to say he said this and he said that or he did this, he did that? Did the documentary cover that?
No.
But you know what though? Have y'all?
Y'all said she said that I've had sex with older women before, and I can have sex with you.
No, those are lies that the prosecutors and all of them came up with.
Yeah, just
those
so they make it look
they
like
was trying to say to make it seem like
never said why. What was her motivation to lie on that little boy like that though?
Because
y'all gotta remember these crackers was behind all this cover-up shit.
Yeah, her husband was the one that killed them. So yeah, that's why she had to, you know what I mean? Like,
that's
he
not
did
true
say
because
that.
her husband wasn't even the one that killed them.
So who was it?
It was the brother. It was the other guy.
It was all right. They was related somehow, but you know what I mean? You got to come up with a story. So,
but
you know what's
they never had
crazy?
her really saying nothing.
That's hold up. It was the husband and the brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Well, it was that's what I said, the brother.
She must have been related somehow.
Yeah, it was Bryant's half brother.
Well, his half brother the one that did it. His half brother the one that edged them on and said anything. We can't have one because if one of these niggas do it, imagine what they're gonna do to my wife next. Imagine what they're gonna say to this one next. And
you know what's crazy though?
Oh, that's
but listen, fellas. You know what's crazy? I went. I don't know if y'all been to the African American Museum here in DC. They got the EMMETT Till display. So the way this is set up, like you going to view his fruit, like his real. They got the casket just as is, the real casket, and they got the picture, like you know what I mean, inside the casket, like of his face. And you gotta go up like you doing like a real funeral, like you know how you go and view the body and it's a line, and this shit was like you feel the energy in that shit. I'm like, wow. That shit was real, man. I was like,
when
damn.
They was showing the movie, you seen at the end when it was going off, and they got like that mural, that big mural that they was going down, that marble that got everybody name on it. Well, not everybody name on it. It had I seen a Carl Smith, I seen Emmett Till, and it was saying where they was killed, at what time they was killed, and that's like
facts, because that Emmett Till shit is happening now in a different way. The same thing, just about the authority going against anybody that go against whatever they don't like. It's just happening now. Same way, cops is knocking niggas off and all that. That shit crazy.
I got a question. How old was y'all when y'all heard about this story? How old was everybody?
But I got current events.
I was in high school.
Okay.
I was like 14, 15.
Okay.
We got a current events that's crazy talking about that.
Damn, what about you? How old was you?
How old was I when?
When you heard the Emmett Till story, how old was everybody? Digga said he was 14.
14, 15.
No, I never.
And I had to read about it. And see whatever pictures provided.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say as far as in school when it was brought up. I don't remember exactly which grade, but when I really started paying attention to things like that is once I read the Willie Lynch letter.
Oh, okay. Paul, what about you? Oh, my fault.
I can't really pinpoint, you know, what year I was, you know what I mean, privy to that, but it was early, but not like a little. I wasn't a jet, but I say about 13, 14, like my man.
Oh, damn, y'all niggas was late, man. Shit.
Yeah.
What about you, Banger?
I just
How old?
remember being. I don't remember my exact age, but I was young and I remember it vividly. The book that I read it in, and I remember it scared me. It really put fear in
Yeah.
me.
And
I
then you act
remember.
like that was part of our curriculum. in
But
school.
listen, that's why I'm telling you. Remember, I
Hey,
told
I
y'all
just
in
want
a
to ask,
previous
like, what's
episode.
your, yeah, Papa, what was
But
your
listen,
point of
I would
action?
no.
Papa, what was
I'm
your
gonna say
point
that.
of asking
That's why
everybody the reason?
I'm
Yeah.
getting it. I'm getting it now. Remember, I told y'all in the previous episode I had a teacher named Dr. Smith, and that's all he taught us. Like, fuck, we just gonna teach Black history. So I was in 3rd grade when I heard this story. So he showed us the documentary. Before he showed us the documentary, he told us about the story. So I really couldn't, you know what I mean? I'm just thinking I really didn't grasp what he was telling us until he actually brought that TV in that classroom and actually showed us. And I was like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, damn, like they killing kids too. Like, you know what I mean? I thought the racism was really like, you know, the older folks. I didn't know it was, you know, like affecting kids like that. And then he showed us about the bombing with them
I
girls
feel
in
you.
the
That's because you're young. I feel you.
yeah, with the bombings with the girls in the church and all that. So I was learning that like 3rd grade. Like this Dr. Smith, by anything, yo, this nigga really, that's all he was like, fuck all of that. This is what we doing today.
Hey, yo, Pop.
Yeah.
They used to have whole barbecues down in the South with kids.
What?
Sucker, man.
What do you mean barbecue?
They used to barbecue.
He talk about they got Lil Paul Jr., they got Rodney.
Damn, man.
Yo, this nigga wrong.
Hey, yo, my nigga. Yo, listen.
I ain't hear what he said. You used to have what down south?
Barbecue.
Whole barbecues with niggas.
Oh yeah, and that's where the word picnic come from. Pick a nigga.
Hey yo, Digger. Hey yo, Digger. Didn't they barbecue kids in the South? Like they barbecued grown folks and kids, right, Digger?
He said that's
Facts, B. Yo, I've been to listen. My mom's right. My mom's knew this lady. That's how I met Coco. Bland, you hear me? You remember Coco?
I know, man.
All right, that's how I met her. I met her through her mom's, my mom's mother. But they house is like a slave library, like a slave museum. They got shit from back in the days, books that you'll never see again. Like if she don't take care of what her family got, you'll never see these relics of our ancestry type house. They they right there on Hamilton Terrace area. Look, they shit was mean, my nigga. It was a knowledge bowl, and I used to see all sorts of this. Listen, man. When he said they used to cook nigga, like he had this book about what they used to do to slaves, yo, my nigga. And they got pictures of shit, how horses used to be. They used to grab a leg, an arm, and a leg with string and tie them to horses and shoot a gun off and rip niggas apart, man.
They did that. They did that not too long ago. Down south. Maybe
That's
like 10
some
years
real
ago.
traditional Klansman hating shit, man.
Yeah, that was part of the
nigga baby in the alligator tank.
When I seen that movie Rosewood, I was like, yo.
Yeah.
When I seen that, and that was a true story. When I seen Rosewood, what happened in Rosewood, Florida, I was like, yo. Damn.
And a lot of that shit is watered down, even though they giving it up, but a lot of that's watered down too.
Yeah.
I was looking at an interview yesterday, right? And this nigga said something that sparked my interest. He was like, did you ever read a book called The Black Gods?
Damn. The Black Gods? Nah. What is it about?
But first we're going to read this book called The Black Gods. It's on Amazon. So I guess it's telling you about all of your ancestors and all of these gods that they stole.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Like, and how Stanley Lee was supposed to, he created his whole Marvel universe off of this book.
Wow.
How these are actually like black gods that used to exist, and he took them and he changed their names around and certain things and created his fake altered world.
Yeah, I believe
But I
that.
want to check into that. That's something I want to
Black
figure out
dog.
if
Okay,
anybody.
yeah, we're gonna make it
That's
happen.
yeah, I really want to check into us getting into what we getting into about the, you know.
Damn. Yo, as a parent though, man, like, yo, damn, like, how do you damn.
That's all I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? It's like it just
Nah, real rap, Papa, real rap, because that's
Yeah.
why his moms came like that. Like, what can you
Yeah.
tell a parent about their child?
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? She was like, nah, everybody, and I think that was her only child, right? Yeah.
You know what? I never knew that.
I think
That's
so.
something
I
I
think
could
that was the
say I
only
never
child.
knew.
Yeah, that was her
And
only
she
child.
lived to be 81 years old, bro. She lived 49 more years after that.
Damn. Yeah, I think that was her only child.
Yeah, it didn't state that she had any more children. She fought the fight after that.
Yeah, I tell you something that really spoke volumes to, man. It spoke volumes to the testament and the strength of a mother.
Yes.
And it spoke volumes to me to the testament and the strength of a black mother. You know what I'm saying? A black woman. Like, not saying that white, Asian, Spanish, or any less strong, but I just know about the black ones. Like, I just know about my grandmother, my mother, my aunts. Like, you understand what I'm saying? And the other women that I've learned about and know about and everything. So like, but that like this her strength and everything that she was able to she was able to stand through that. Like that it was, that's something that really touched me. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
Digger,
deep.
you made the
and she,
strongest. I'm sorry. Digger, you made the strongest point of the day when you stay, because when I was just thinking about like the description of how she, even when she was going through it, like after it happened, she was at a time where she thought people forgot. And the most recent things that was going on was like Rosa Parks and Dr. Martin Luther King. Like they started to pick up momentum. So she would state like these people are the new ones that's, you know, leading the fight, and they setting off the charge. And she felt like her story was getting dry. So this can paint the times of what you stating, so we can say how it goes. So at this time, we talking about Dr. Martin Luther King, and the issue that he was fighting at that time was I believe it was the Alabama situation with the buses. With us being segregated on the buses, us sitting in the back, and he's saying basically, so that's basically the same time. So that paints the timeline for us, for you, Digger, stating on how every place was just different.
Yeah, what year was this? Emmett
That's
Till.
after his death. After
what year was this?
55?
1955.
55. Oh damn.
Yeah.
55.
What year is the segregation from Alabama for the
I want to say that was in like the 60s.
Yeah, that might be 60. That's what I'm saying. That may be 10 years. It's a little while after.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying. But that paints a timeline for you.
Yeah.
So you said he felt like he can talk to a lady or a woman and a white woman, but then in some states or where it was at, you can see we still couldn't even ride on the motherfucking bus with him. And if we did, we still had to get up and go to the back. And so you can see what the timeline stated around that time.
Right.
Damn, dog. Wow.
Location wise, anything, because what's that? Birmingham, Alabama. Then you got Chicago,
Mississippi, all that shit.
I always know what Mississippi. Look,
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. No disrespect, but I'm about to slide.
No problem. We appreciate you.
I ain't that nigga to just leave and then nobody knows. Nah, I'm gonna let y'all know I'm gonna slide, man. But
what time the fight come on?
It was a good talk. It's about 8:33 now, so you know me, I'm already on it now. I'm waiting. It's probably gonna be like 9 o'clock. But I gotta see the undercard because my young boy from my gym out here in Philly, he was there. So and he was a little nigga. Now he ain't no little nigga no more. He on the undercard. I want to check him out. And then Gary Russell fighting. And then we got the UFC joint. Francis from Gamo and the nigga Gain, and they from the same camp. So it's like a nice, bad blood fight. I gotta see that too. We gonna flick back and forth on this joint.
All
right, y'all be easy out there, man. Be careful and stay dangerous. Love y'all.
Already.
All right, peace.
Damn, man.
He don't know how to leave. Yeah, man. That's a crazy situation. All I was sitting back thinking at that time is like, one of my children, that woman was strong. She had a lot of talk, a lot of fight, because I couldn't have been too close. You see how she sat that close to the lady? And when she's
To the
saying
lady, what lady?
to the lady who made the statements, the mother, when they was in
What do you mean
court,
by it was close? Oh,
when she sat in court, she sat right behind her. You ain't see when they had the staring contest?
nah. Oh, damn.
Even it speaks to the volumes of even her, like I said, saying when they gave the rules, don't open this box. She like a crowbar. I'm gonna see my son.
Yeah.
I want to see what they did to my baby. Urge that took to even understand, what am I going to see? What are they trying to hide from me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And bigger than that, don't touch him. Let the world see him like that.
You know what I mean? Oh man, that's
Yo, and the
When I
resilience
seen that
during
shit, man, that
time.
shit look that shit look like a old pumpkin. I was
All
like,
right,
God
you say
damn.
that. Now, when you say that, did y'all see what they did to that nigga?
Yeah, they hung him first.
No, they didn't.
And then that was the first thing they did. And then
No, they
it was by
didn't.
a swamp, right? And then I think the swamp, they left him in a swamp or something like that.
They ain't hang him first. That nigga pistol whipped him first.
Okay, yeah. Because that's what the swelling.
Then they dragged him to the car, brung the man to a barn. Another drove him to another area, took him to a barn, dragged the man in the barn. Then they hung him up, like you saying. Now they whipping him.
Now that's when that kid testified. This kid testified that they had a witness, Willie Reed. He saw a truck on the road and he saw Emmett being taken into the barn.
Yeah.
He identified, he's the one. I don't know before him or not, but Willie Reed, he identified JW and he said that there was black men in the truck. So that's how they knew that there was black men involved also. I don't know if they knew it before Willie Reed testimony of him being a witness or not, but basically that's what they were saying, that that was something that he had brought in.
There's something new to me. There was black men.
I told you,
was
nigga, it was
men
3
involved.
black niggas in there. You
Yeah,
keep
there's
not
always
listening.
house
It was the
niggas,
black
Pop.
niggas that worked
There's
for
always
them, man.
house niggas. Yeah, there's always house niggas, man.
Are y'all sure?
I'm positive, bro.
Yo, bro, I watched
They never show you the black niggas do nothing, but they show you they made the black niggas watch everything they did. They made 3 niggas watch him.
Wow.
The other nigga that he's saying is the one who's seen it from the road, and there's another slave lady who happened to be peeking out the window and seeing them dragging them into the barn.
So let
But
me
hold up, they ain't had no slaves back then.
Yo, pardon me, pardon me, y'all. Let me say this though.
In 50 something, they ain't had no slaves. What are you talking about? In 50, what you said, 53, ain't had no
I'm out of
slaves.
here. I'm not saying a physical slave. They work for them. They already, we hanging niggas off trees, and you work for me if you know how, brother. Come on, look what they did to him, and you gonna say they didn't have slaves, man?
Pardon me. So I won't even say in the sense of house niggas, because at the end of the day, like their families could have been in danger or anything. So I don't know what their situation was and why they was with those men. Like at the end of the day, like you understand what I'm saying? So I won't say like they was house niggas or anything
niggas.
like.
It wasn't no black men. It was
bro.
them 2 niggas by themselves.
Y'all can cut all that out. You don't know what they are. This, that, and the third.
It was them 2 by themselves.
They always paint the picture and
yo,
allow
Pop.
you to know that
it was them 2 niggas.
Happened to you.
Hey yo, I don't know. I'm just saying, bro.
I'm trying to ease the pain.
This was from the trial, bro. That means that these people were just blatantly lying, and his family.
No, they didn't say that the black
people. They in the trial. I remember.
They wasn't witnesses because they didn't strike him and they wasn't telling. They worked for them.
Yeah. No, but I was talking about what Willie Reed. I'm talking about what Willie Reed said. I was just talking about what the witness at his trial. The witness at his trial said that he saw a truck. He saw a truck on the road.
No, but
and
he
Emmett
didn't
was
work
taking.
for them. He was just walking by. Remember?
You talking
No,
about
I
Willie
didn't
Reed?
say. I never
He
said he
don't
worked
say
for him.
he just
Yeah.
saying he's
Yeah, I never
witnesses.
said he worked for him. I never
Yeah.
said nothing about no workers. Y'all said all that.
Yeah,
I said that Willie
yeah.
Reed. I said that Willie Reed saw the truck on the road. He saw Emmett taken in the barn, and Willie identified JW, and there was black men involved. That's basically
So
what
did
it
Willie
was.
Reed know Emmett?
No, Willie
So
Reed.
how
I
you
don't
know it was
know about
Emmett?
all. They
He
didn't
was
say.
just walking and he seen his face. They had him on the back of the truck, bro, and they was
He
sitting
remembered it
around
was
him.
Emmett from the picture. He remembered it
Oh,
was
okay.
Emmett from his
Okay,
picture.
from the picture.
Yeah,
Okay.
from his picture. That's what they said.
No,
That's
but
how
he
he
had a
remembered.
close enough view to see his face. Is
I
what
gotta
I'm
watch
saying.
his document. Yeah, I
I was
gotta watch
just
his
saying what
documentary.
they said.
Yeah, that's the first
what they
time
said
Ben
in
did his
there.
homework. You see, he came with notes. He get mad when you cut them notes off. No, listen,
Yeah.
it was right. No,
Yeah,
it
because
was right here.
yo,
Listen.
bro, because I'm literally watching the joint,
Yeah.
and I'm literally writing. You know
It's
what I'm
on
saying?
it's on Netflix.
Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
Hulu.
It's on
Okay,
Hulu.
good.
So
Okay.
look. This is what we gonna go back for. We
Go
gonna go
ahead.
back for this. All right, we gonna go back for this during the trial. All right, all right. The sheriff brought doubt of it being Emmett. So how could the men be charged with murder? So basically, that's what led. The deliberation was an hour and 7 minutes, and that's because they took a coffee break. They said or whatever. So it was it was a not guilty verdict. It was a miscarriage of justice. All right. David Lee Jordan, he was the Mississippi senator at that time or after that time, but they beat the murder charges. They was brought up on kidnapping charges. The federal government brought them up on kidnapping charges. And then that's when Eastland published Lewis Till, who is Emmett's father, his army record, which was the false report of the rape. And then that's when the charges for the kidnapping were dropped.
Oh, I gotta watch
And then
this
they was talking
documentary.
about January. This is the illest
Well, they
shit
still didn't have no
everybody.
FBI
This is the
actually.
illest.
I hear what you
This the
said, but
illest
they
shit.
didn't have the FBI actually arrest him. The sheriff arrested him when they came
Nah,
out.
they didn't say. I didn't say nothing about him being arrested by the feds, bro. I said the federal government brought the kidnapping charges.
Yeah.
That's who brought the kidnapping charges. The sheriff was part of the acquittal for the murder charges, which is what you was right about the sheriff being involved, but that was
No,
the
but the
acquittal for the
sheriff the
murder
one who
charges.
rearrested them as soon as they got acquitted for the murder charges. The sheriff wasn't on. You thinking about two different sheriffs. You think about the one that the fat white guy. I'm talking about the older guy that had the glasses when he was like, yeah, they already out. They just got acquitted for murder. He said, I don't care nothing about that. Now they getting arrested for kidnapping.
For
That was the
kidnapping.
sheriff
Okay.
also.
All right, yeah, but they was basically saying that even with the sheriff.
Wow.
That's hog phone. Say it again. Let me see.
Even with the sheriff, they was basically saying that even.
Yeah, it was hog's joint. Go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, I lost my. So the sheriff. Yeah, no, I was just basically saying the federal government is who brought the kidnapping charges. You know, the sheriff couldn't bring the charges. He arrested them, but the feds.
That's making it seem even worse. The feds came up with the kidnapping case, and them niggas got off that easy with the feds on it.
Yeah, they beat. Well, the federal.
How that happened?
Listen, man, I guess we have to talk to them, brother. I don't know.
No, this is us being our own therapist. You forgetting what the class is. You gonna get back because I asked the question.
You know how it happened.
Basically, look.
No, but that's the federal government.
Look at it as they covered their ass. They covered their ass by bringing up the charges because it was such an atrocity that they had beat the murder charges, right?
Bro,
it was such a miscarriage of justice.
Since the feds existed, what do they have? A 90% convict? Well, he's topped out. What did the feds have? A 90% conviction rate or some shit like that?
For what?
The feds, man, when the feds arrest you, is a 90-something, is like an 85% chance your ass is going to jail. This is a fact.
At that time, they wasn't
we're not saying at that time. If this is a fact, that means these is the niggas who got data percentages that slip by.
The feds just brought that, so it's not a riot or anything. They know what they was doing.
But what would the feds bring up a case of kidnapping for? It doesn't make any sense.
Because they knew where it was down south, so the feds got to step in. You know what I mean? When you got a riot and it's a national.
But remember, by them driving and throwing up, you didn't see it. By them driving and then throwing his body into the river, it became somebody else's issue too. So then that's why the cases were split up, because it was like in 2 different counties.
Okay.
So that's how the cases actually got split up.
Yeah, I gotta watch this new documentary because, like, when the first one that I seen, I was so young.
Them joints be making you mad because it'd be like,
that's why I
damn,
can't.
Niggas used to do us anyway. Like we
if you get a chance, go to that African American museum and you know what I mean, that shit.
About my sons, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
That's
I don't even want to think. I don't even want to think about.
Nah, that should be crazy. Like you got to think about that, and then you got that make you wake up and you say thank you to our leaders in some form of fashion, because you don't know how it used to fucking be, bro. You know what them niggas had to go through for us niggas to be able to walk this free and feel like you got the ability to wake up and do what the fuck you want.
That whole town should have been
black ass for saying
that whole town should have been turned upside down.
We're not talking about what should have happened, what could have happened, what we talking about just in general, what did happen throughout time. It made it possible for us.
Yeah. You're right.
And you got to be realistic. Even though in our minds, like you said, in your heart, you say this what should have happened. But just like they killed Emmett, there was the shift of power, and they even if they riled up, bruh, they was gonna get everyone.
Yeah, that's where the Willie Lynch letter come in, because they was killing too many niggas who was trying to buck the system. At first, too many things. Nah, we ain't going fit. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah, you gotta stop killing them, bro.
Quarterback, like this what should have happened, but like during that time, you living in straight fear for your life. And even if you wanted to buck the system, you trying to protect your shorties underneath you. Like if I go AWOL, that's gonna leave my whole children, wife uncovered. So let me stay in line, and just the best I could do is be right here to protect them if anything jump off when I'm at home. But if I'm gone or they already killed me, everybody else is food.
And then that's us talking from still a comfortable position, because where you going? They had to set up railroad.
You had Africa out of town. You got Africa there, but these niggas
says you got Africa ain't welcoming us.
Why not?
Because y'all left
it's a big ass land.
Y'all left on that boat and y'all been painted since.
Y'all niggas got caught.
What y'all doing?
You got caught into this system and ain't want to leave.
So what? We ain't letting none of you over here. Ones that don't know that's what you did, and you a spy. You gonna try to get back over here.
We got caught into this system. I ain't leaving. Shit, we eating good over here.
Look, see, that's what you think.
I like to go. I had this preacher around New Year's. He came. He just did like a 2-week evangelistic thing over there in Sierra Leone.
Okay.
Yeah, and but I was saying but you can't go over there if you don't get the vaccine. You can't go over there. So now anybody who ever wanted to go visit, you got to get the vaccine to go even over there. You know what I mean? So it's a possibility I never go because I'm not looking to get no vaccine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Terrible, because I would love to go to Africa and see what's going on over there. But
banger back. Yeah, that's real.
A shot you can't get to that country, man.
I ain't getting no shot to go nowhere, but I'm gonna have to get another shot.
But y'all heard this though? They said they giving out the free COVID test. You get 4. You got to sign up with your address. Mm-hmm. I was like, I ain't sticking that shit in my nose. They probably got the COVID in the
got the COVID on the tip.
You know what I mean? Sucking niggas. Like, oh yeah. Anything that's free? Hell no.
Yo, we giving out 10 million tests.
Yeah.
That niggas suck. What am I testing for?
You testing to get it. Hey, nigga who tests is wrong.
That's crazy.
You got the shit
failed. They going too far with all of this, man.
I'm gonna get one and just send it in and just see what happens.
That's gonna be one of our episodes in Black History Month. All these mandates, is we back slaves?
It's everybody. It's everybody though, man.
You believe is everybody. You don't know you don't know the differential in these vaccines. What system you work with?
That's exactly why I
I'm
ain't
being
taking
for
it.
real, bro. Who's to tell you that the president vaccine is the same as yours?
And I'll tell y'all the reason why I didn't get the vaccine, because prior to COVID, right?
I don't know the recipe, nigga.
This is some real shit. Prior to COVID, I had a dream, right? In this dream, like I went to the hospital and it was giving people needles, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the nurse was like, the nurse was like, oh, he'll be a good candidate. So in the dream, they was picking people to inject them with whatever it was because I was black and they was doing some experiment. And this is way before, it was like maybe like 6 months before COVID, I had this dream. So when that shit came out, I was like, oh hell no, I ain't doing that shit.
I was born.
They getting out of experiment, you know what I mean? So that's why I never, if I didn't have that dream, I probably would have got it.
I was born in a real struggle. My moms don't know my blood type, so I don't guess there's no reason for me to know it.
Oh, to get it?
Nah, I'm just being stupid, but just saying, like, she don't know my blood type. I wasn't trying to figure that out either. I'll just be rare. I ain't trying to get no needles or nothing. I'm not down with that system.
Right.
I don't need nothing, bro. I had a cold. I had a bad cold. That joint pulled me down. I felt like I was losing it. Everything was extra, just like when I used to get a cold when I was little. I felt like I was dying, just like when I got a cold when I was little. I felt everything that I feel when I get a cold, but I made it back again, bro. And I ain't need no shots. I don't need no fucking value, nothing special. Because that's what we're designed to do. Once you start pushing all this other type shit in your system, you're going to find out the hard way. Now, I ain't taking shit nigga tell me I got to take because it don't sound right to me.
It don't make no sense to take it if it's not going to protect you from even contracting the virus. That's my thing.
It's the dummies that's taking a...
If you still get... I take it, why it's not a vaccine.
But we told you that from the get-go. If we gonna give you different variants every year, how are we gonna tell you we giving you a vaccine where this is supposed to know every variant of the disease where we can figure it out and then give you a little small dose of it so now you won't be, affected by it when you do get struck with it. We gave you
the gate. If you take this vaccine, you still gonna catch it. It just means you won't die by it. Like what?
No, you're gonna catch his cousin, is what they try to tell you. You ain't gonna catch Delta, you might catch Omarion. You don't catch Omarion, you catch Lil Fizz.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, y'all can have it.
And they already told you it's the B2K, man.
Wow.
It's the B2K, man.
Man-made virus. This shit make you, how the hell a virus, you can't smell the taste? What kind of new shit is this?
Marion, the Little Fizz. After we get a Little Fizz, niggas gonna be out here boogieing. And then after boogie, I don't know where, I don't remember the last number.
Yeah.
I'll Google.
That was a crazy one. I forgot that last one.
That's crazy, man. So what else we was supposed to do for homework? I seen you sent me a bunch of texts.
Well, nah, I sent you that text, but my man Banger, we got to talk about this here too. He kind of addicted to TikTok. So when my son be sending little TikToks and looking at them shits, I always think about Banger. And then Banger always sending me a goddamn TikTok.
Oh yeah, I seen the Doomsday joint.
What happened to you this week? Yo, B, these joints was talking about this on TikTok. What?
I don't even got a TikTok account.
I didn't know what a TikTok is. Nigga making me thinking I'm missing some type of platform that's popping. What's TikTok, bro? That's no Facebook.
Oh.
Yo, you could go viral. You could go viral on that joint, son. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to do the whole viral thing on there now. Like,
viral virus. Yo, you getting it viral virus? This shit's
oh man, son. Yo, listen.
Yo, it's not healthy. Yo, I'm listening.
But Lan said, and I quote, hold up. I said it to my girl a different way. But Lan said it and I quote, just make sure you check out that series, good brothers. fuck that TikTok. So basically, I'm in there. I'm in there and I'm like, oh, okay, I got one for them, Buttercup. I got something for them. I got homework for these Negroes now. Like I did my homework. I didn't took
Right.
notes and everything. Like,
Already.
now I mean, I was sitting there with
Yo,
my pen, like I was in class. You know what I'm saying? I was trained good in them private schools. You know what I mean? That education paid off. I'm like, yeah, I got something for them now. Boom, boom,
yeah.
boom. That's why I was able to pinpoint all that.
Yeah, he was ready to get to it right, but then he was like a student. He was a student
Yep.
prepared, too ready for the test because he wanted to get it right away. No, listen, on the third, they said, listen, the fourth sheriff and the FBI, I'm telling you, the DEA, they came with me. I see. Listen, I got the notes.
You got to get that chronological order. That's what I was trying to get. Hold up, it was on this date. You know what I'm saying? Nah, y'all got that twisted.
You
know
know
what
a
I'm
nigga
saying?
know the facts. He starts spitting dates and times. I'm letting you know, bro. I know exactly what's going on.
You know what?
And I was hyped.
Gas at the gas.
For
Nah,
another
I was
Black
saying,
History.
and I was just hyped. You know
What's
what I'm
it?
saying? That joint was instrumental though. Like I said, when I was a kid and I saw that, that was different for me, man. You know what I'm saying?
Papo, it's funny.
That
You saying, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no,
No,
I
I was
wanted
about
to
to say
say.
it's funny,
Go ahead.
Papo, saying you had professor when you was young that only taught you black. So you should be able to define 4 leaders for us this month that we might not know of importance and what they went through and what they might be. You know, the like I just said, when I seen the Emmett Till story at the end, it shows you a large marble and it's got like
that should be a subject for the Black History Month next month.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
I remember him talking about
And
Medgar
they got
Evers.
a mural with just
Yeah.
bro, it's countless
Yeah,
to
I
how
remember
many say
talking
how
about
many cases it may be in.
Oh yeah, Medgar Evers, them girls in that church.
Listen, exactly. You
Yeah.
just give us we
I
stay
got a
on
whole
we get on
shit.
topic for what we're gonna do to make sure we represent our month right. You feel me? Because ain't nobody else gonna sit down and they're gonna let you know who your leaders was or who they are, what we went through.
Yeah. I remember he told us about I remember he's like, yeah, who you think invented the light? You know, all the kids is like, you know, Thomas. He's like, no, a black man did that. Louis Latimer. He invented the filament in the light bulb. Without that filament, it wouldn't even light up. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
he
George
created
Washington.
the light concept. All the nigga did was go, I'm gonna put a bulb around that.
Yeah. So the Philip there, and he was teaching us about you know, George Washington Carver, how many inventions he came up. He was like, you know, it was just a whole bunch of shit, man.
But what's another joint? A nigga was saying, he's saying Shakespeare's a fraud. He couldn't even read. He used to have a slave girl write and do all of his plays for him. Yeah. This is another thing I heard in the interview from a brother that was spending some knowledge. I was like, wow. He was going, yeah, but
nigga that can read and write back then, shit, she would have been hung.
But no, you're not gonna be hung because this is the whole thing on how this world been operating from day one. Manipulation and mismanagement. So you thinking that a person that who actually does the work is actually receiving the credit order when that's not how it never worked. Right. It's the nigga who blew your head off and took your bag and walked in your office and said, I created this.
But you know what else is shocking to me though that I found out? I went to Frederick Douglass' house, his actual real house in DC.
Yeah.
I never knew he was married to a white woman. He
Why
divorced his black wife. He divorced his black wife and was married to a white woman.
White, yes.
Oh,
I never knew that.
That's bananas.
I never knew that. I never knew that.
So
I never knew that either.
Now he can't have 8th Avenue.
Nah, fam. No, I'm just saying. It's shit they don't teach you.
Y'all trying to say he deserved Columbus?
I'm just saying.
I knew that because they talk about Dr. Umar, you know, because he's against the mixing of the races or whatever. Umar said he was related to Frederick Douglass, so he's like, yo, what's up with your kid?
Oh wow, yeah.
He was like, yo, that I can't condone that and this and that, but that was his second.
Oh wow. But now, I just never knew that.
With that being said, right? Even with Martin Luther King, do y'all know, like, what's funny is they best allies was white.
Yeah.
Jews and
I
all of
wouldn't
those,
say
even white, bro. They said it themselves.
You said the best.
Martin and Malcolm and Martin had both said it out their mouths themselves. When they tried to accuse Malcolm or son, Martin or son, he said, "Well, the best person," he said, "ain't no Jew, ain't no." He named a whole list of people. Ain't never do nothing wrong to me. This, that, and the third. Why would I feel this type of way? And Malcolm, we know when he changed into after he went to Africa, you see how he felt about the whole situation. So. Is that really wrong? I think like that's kind of like the whole idea.
But still though, he had black men, and he had black people like black, how would you call them, servants?
Who?
Frederick Douglass.
I understand what you're saying, but all right, man. If he's black and he was successful and it was slaves, what you want him to go get white servants?
That's the culture. The culture at the time, you know.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is I never knew. That's
the way we look as black niggas right now with servants. Shaq got servants. All these niggas got. So you probably know one of their servants. What you think they calling their drivers? They assistants. I'm just saying. Puff Daddy, you want to know how many servants?
Being from that time and understanding where you came from, I wouldn't condone in certain things.
I understand what you're saying, but
I wouldn't condone in certain things.
That mentality has crossed over, and there's so many branches you can still see it to these days, bro. That's like you saying your hype man is basically your. That's how it goes that's how it's been going in business forever.
Me personally, it's just certain things.
That's just pride.
I know pride.
Somebody has to be your boss, or even if that's the case, jump out the window, spend all the money, and do what you got to do, and you'll be the boss.
Nah,
I understand it. I understand the theory. Just like I say, I don't think that it should be just is either or. Like I don't think that Frederick Douglass wrong for having no white woman. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nah, I just didn't know that.
I'm just saying I didn't say it was wrong. I never knew that.
I'm just saying, but the way they saying or the way they might want us to look at it, like, oh, he sold us out. How he sell us out? How you know the black woman he was with ain't sell us out, or whatever the case may be? I don't think that like it should matter who you with. Like
I think it's status. Once you start being up there, you know, with them, you can't function with certain people. It's like you being a millionaire right now. You know, okay, I can't be on the block. Like, you know, you understand what I mean? I can't. So it's when you at a certain status, I think that was that. You know, he was up there.
That's the problem. I operate
but
like
then
this.
But then also not for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But there's different parts. There's a lot of different layers to the Europeans. You know, you have the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. You know what I'm saying? You got the, you know what I mean, the Italians. You got the Jews. So we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Where the females, these black men back then, where they came from. You get what I'm saying? Like, I mean, not for nothing, but like that one dude, what was his name? The the Bryant dude, or maybe it was the other white dude. But the way they was talking, the way he was talking, you know, about like the nerve of you to even think, you know what I'm saying, you could talk to one of our women or be with our women. So like that hate, I mean, it was in the women as well. But then also go back to whom the head of the household has always been. You know what I'm saying? Not taking anything away from the females at all. I'm just talking about the type of females that like Frederick Douglass connected to and whoever else may have married a white woman back then. You know what I'm saying? Because everything, I don't think it's just about like when you get to a certain statue, you have to do this, not have to, or they do this. I think it's also, it may be someone that identifies with the plight of our people or what they're going through at the time. They may connect on something.
Could I say it like
you
this?
Get what I'm saying?
It's just a class for it's just a class for every set of life, for every stage of life. You know how somebody might just say, and you might not never notice it, you with somebody and they just be like you out their class.
Yeah.
And you go, what do you mean I'm out their class? Like you might not understand the it's not even saying that that's not somebody that's with you. It's just saying that y'all in different probably spectrums of life. So then once you get to life, and it might be kind of it's kind of easy to understand. The point would be maybe they know how to handle that type of individual, a successful individual, better than maybe somebody who's never been around a successful individual, and they don't know success at that height or
spaces and the spaces.
You feel me?
Yeah,
it kind of makes
and then
sense.
also something that came is like, you know, like new money. You know what I'm saying? You traveling, you seeing different things, you're being exposed to different things. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of that, because like male, when it comes to like you're
But it
not
goes
going.
back to how they was trained, because something and some like we see even with them little Barbie stories and all of that, like they mothers are training them for you. Even as when you see in like when back in the days when it was queens and kings, when a nigga would raise his daughter for this one king. So she knows everything how to move around you. She is for you. You know, before you know what's going on, she knows. You feel everything. So this is it's just that structure maybe of a woman that successful guys fall into, you know, lust or whatever it may be, because they know how to handle you.
Yeah.
Nobody handling me.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
Because when you with somebody
I'm
who
saying, you know,
if we both didn't have no type of, you know,
Ain't
no
nobody
feeling
handling me.
yesterday then tomorrow, I get a billion. You can't say the same shit you said to me yesterday, and it don't have to be nothing.
Yeah.
You a whack nigga. You a whack nigga could be the end of life for you if I made $1 million tomorrow. You feel me? When you a whack nigga could be something you heard 35 times out your life. And now it's only because you believe with this new success I got, somebody know not to talk to me like that.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah.
I'm on it. You out your, I don't deserve. So it's just a sense of entitlement, maybe.
Money is evil. That's the devil.
The love
That
of money.
green,
The
Money is
love
the
of money.
devil. I wouldn't say the love of
The
money.
because
love of
now,
money is the root of
yeah,
evil. It's not money. It's
it's
the love of money.
it's now, you know, it's now you got to change your whole mentality because of, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Nah, I mean, think about it, man. It goes back to what's in front of you as well. Like, and then it goes back to what you value. Because there's plenty of people that's not into the worldly things. You get what I'm saying? So it depends on how you want to live.
Right.
And what you want out of life, basically. Now, unfortunately, there's been people who have allowed others to dictate their status, when that's like a mind state, because that doesn't
Yo,
have to be. When you really,
yeah.
you understand, when someone dictates your status or what have you. You get what I'm saying? But once you figure out what's actually happening and what's going on, then that's when you can start to that's when you can start to you know what I'm saying, counteract that, basically.
Yeah, that's why, man. Yep, I wish I'm gonna get Willie on here one, but that's why I fucks with Willie heavy, because this nigga is the same no matter what. You know what I mean? And he got, you know what I mean? He well off. But I remember I took him to he needed me to help him to take him to some pottery shop thing, right? Because he does pottery. So we get in there, you know, it's a bunch of white women. So he get up in there, he's telling the story blah blah blah, and how it used to be back. He was like, yeah, they didn't let none of the niggas out. You know, he just saying it just like
blatantly, yeah.
like he don't give a fuck. He don't care who you are. You know what I mean? He just talk curse.
But why would you?
He don't give a fuck. But I'm like, yo, Will, I'm like, yo, you can't say that, man. He was like, what? She's like, I don't, you know what I mean? He's just him all the time.
So how can he not say it? What's wrong with saying it? Like,
no, but I mean, it's the way, you know, you gotta be. He just saying it just like
say. Us feeling comfortable in the ways that we get to adjust to.
Yeah, but he was saying it in a way like this, right? It's like he's saying it in a way like
nigga.
It's like he's saying it like we talking like, yeah, you know, all the niggas from such and such went to this school. That's how, you know, you understand what I'm saying? And he's talking like he around us. To you understand what I mean? To white people, I'm like, yo, Willie, and the lady looked at me like, I was like, oh shit, that shit was so funny. He was like, yeah.
And how old is Willie, Pop?
84.
Hey, yo, you talking about your old head that you
yeah, remember? Yeah.
Now I'm gonna hit you with this.
He a soldier.
Do you think at a point in time Willie had to say yes, master, and no master?
He said when he was I don't think he said yes, master, but he said when he was coming up, DC was segregated. Like he said, yeah, we had to live that shit. Like, you know what I mean? You can't, you know what I mean? You got to be polite. Like, you know what I mean?
What's polite?
You think my young homie Josh still reach out to big homie Willie?
Nah, I don't think so.
Have you when the last time you talked to Josh?
Maybe I texted him, what was it, last week? He put me on, yeah. He said he spoke to you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. The good young brother.
Yeah. My point to saying it is saying now he's gonna talk any way he wants, because before he probably know he didn't have the freedom to say anything he wanted to say. And now that he knows that that's available, he's gonna use it the most.
Yeah,
If I ever had to say a fucking yes, master day, I can say, nigga, get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna say that shit every other day.
He told me a story, man. This shit is a movie. This nigga told me a story, and I said, yo, I need to record you saying this, right? He said back then, you know, they used to do moonshine. You know how they used to make moonshine?
Yeah.
So he said, yeah. So he said there's a guy named Mr. Jimmy or something like that. He's an older gentleman. He used to have them go in the store and buy sugar, because I guess that's, but you know what I mean? So he used to have them go buy the sugar, like one at a time. And, you know, he'll give him like 5 cents. So his mother told him like, yo, stay away from, you know what I mean? I don't want to have you hanging out with Mr. Jimmy, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. So he said one day they went to buy sugar for Mr. Jimmy. Mr. Jimmy was like, yeah, I'm going to take y'all up to the mountains. They go to the mountains. Boom, boom, boom. So Mr. Jimmy said,
boom.
Whatever, man. Y'all stay right here. I'm going up. I'm going further up in the mountains. So he's going to deliver the sugar where they do the moonshining, right? So he said they out there. Boom. Cop comes. And 3 boys. He said that we were scared as shit. He said the cop said, what are y'all niggas doing here? He's like, oh, nothing, sir. Mr. Jimmy went up the hill. Blah, 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 blah. Who's Mr. Jimmy? You know what I mean? They're scared. He said, yo, we was scared as shit. Wait right here. Cop went up the hill, right? Cop went up the hill. Next thing you know, here come Mr. Jimmy truck coming down the hill with no engine, just rolling down the hill. Said, put the brake, get in. You know what I mean? They jumped in and then just went right down the hill. And you know what I mean? But he said, yo, had that cop came back and he said it would have been some shit, because back then it was wild. But he said when he went home, mother's like, yeah, where you been? He said, Mom, you know, you right. I ain't fucking with Mr. Jimmy no more, man. This nigga, that shit. But yeah, he used to go up in the mountains and make moonshine. Yeah, make moonshine in the mountains and shit.
Wow.
Yeah, but when he's telling the story, like he's going into detail, I was like, oh man, that shit is funny.
Hey yo, I don't too often get a chance to chop it up with brothers like this, man. So I'm gonna try to be consistent and link it up with you know, picking brains and all that. Y'all have a good weekend, blessed week. You know what I mean, try to link with y'all Wednesday or next Saturday.
I appreciate you.
I-
Alright, man. You watching the
all
game?
y'all for all
Peace,
y'all that
man.
wanted to watch that fight, though, that fight is on Showtime tonight. So don't listen to him when
Gary
he's talking
Russell?
about Gary Russell against Mayorga.
It's on now.
Well, the fight.
Mayorga. That's who he fighting?
Let me see who he fighting.
Nah, he can't be fighting. That's the nigga Floyd fought.
Who Russell?
Floyd washed him up.
No, it's something different. Mag
Sayo,
some shit like that. I'm sorry, I'm moving fast.
Where is that? It's in Vegas. Well, I mean
well, it should look like it's across the street.
It look like it's across the street. It's probably at the Barclays Center.
Like they did that shit in Harlem's ballroom. But yeah.
No, that's probably not the main event though. That's probably the undercard, and they show other fights.
That's the main event, nigga. This is boxing. This Showtime.
No,
nigga.
I'm talking about right now. Who's fighting right now?
Oh, nah, right now. Yeah, he's not fighting right now. Right now, I should go to the 49ers Green Bay game and see who winning that right now.
Green Bay up 7-0.
7-0, that's good. That mean that just started. That covered current events real fast. How you looking in the in your fantasy league this year? This week?
Nah, I'm winning. Ain't nothing. It's easy.
Light work this week. Light work
this week.
Hey, that's funny.
Who I just picked up? Who I just picked up? Damn. Let me see. I picked up somebody.
I be thinking that a nigga be in fantasy hell, but this year I'm having a great year in both leagues, so I can't complain. But as soon as my nigga Bambo and Barrio come back, now Durant go out. You hit me with that. Durant go out for what, 6 to 8 weeks. Now
I messed up.
Oh, he must look like he down now.
No, I ain't set my starting line. I ain't put my thing in. I just caught it.
Yeah, you didn't.
Now I'm still winning.
Yo, that loss.
Oh yeah, that mean. Oh man, yeah, that cost me.
That loss.
That cost me
last week versus Dana.
Oh wow.
I'm fucked up sick too, and I missed one day.
Damn, I had Chris Paul on the bench, man.
Well, I'm glad I did. I know I put that nigga in about 4 o'clock this morning.
This person might steal a win. I'm bugged out.
Nigga, Chris Paul them just started.
Yeah, but he already on the bench.
Yeah, that's hurt. Yeah, I got the week. I'm just trying to keep the edge tonight.
Yo, how the fuck I do this? I thought I had my. Oh yeah, I picked up LaMarcus Aldridge. That's who I picked up.
That ain't gonna do too much.
Yeah, I picked up LaMarcus because KD out, so he gonna get a lot of minutes.
Everybody out. That's why I'm pissed.
Yo,
this week KD come out. Next week AD might come back, so I look good. I'm just trying to get my shit back before the playoffs, man.
Y'all know what's happening. I keep having these same dreams, but it's like different spurts. I may have them 2 months, a week, and it's going back in the dream. I'm always in high school, right? Banger, you listening?
Yeah.
I'm always in high school playing football, right? And I'm always, it's always like I'm about to go in a game or something, but something happened where I don't. It's just crazy. It's like going back to high school, but I'm starting, but it's just something happened where I'm not getting in the game. Like in this dream, I was supposed to be in the games, like doing warm-ups.
Yeah.
In the game, you know how you separate the wide receivers, DBs. I was supposed to go with the wide receivers, and I changed my mind. Like, nah, I'm gonna go with the DBs. And then I lost where everybody was. And then I was trying to find my way back to the game. And this shit is crazy. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Today was a good joint, man. I like that. I like that. We stuck on topic for a long time. I didn't mean to cut you off, Papo.
Nah, you good.
Why you still ain't cammed up? You in the house. Stop fronting.
Chilling, man.
You chilling. You ain't chilling. You watching a fucking game. That's what you doing.
I'm watching no game. That shit is whack. You know who gonna win. Green Bay gonna win.
I don't know if Green Bay gonna win. I'm gonna tune in a minute to see what's gonna happen.
This shit is fixed.
I'm gonna check that out, see what's going on.
Yo, who you think going to the Super Bowl? Now
I
who gonna
told
win?
you. I
Green
Who they
Bay,
going?
Green Bay will get there, or LA,
I'm going with KC.
Kansas City. You think
Yeah.
so?
And who are they
Who in the
playing?
AFC?
I
Who in
go
the
with
AFC?
Kansas City, and I'm gonna go with. I don't even give a fuck what league they be in. I'm gonna go with Kansas City, and
I'll tell you right now. So
I like Green Bay forever because I'm a Favre fan, but I don't like how they did Roger.
Aaron Rodgers is a motherfucking wizard.
Yeah, but I just don't like how they got rid of Favre for that, man. I don't care how good of your wizard is. You let Favre leave gracefully, and then let Aaron get his thing up.
He was better. The Favre was washed up.
I don't know about
Throwing
that.
all them
Bro.
fucking interceptions.
All right, is broadcast over? You try to disrespect the greatest.
Nigga throwing interceptions. Pick 6.
All right, well,
Try
that
to be a
means tomorrow.
gunslinger.
That means tomorrow we should have a recap even tomorrow where we talking about your man Russell fight tonight. We talking about UC and the rest of that women of the movement with EMMETT. Then we should be getting into the next 4 leaders that we should be picking for next month. And we trying to start that.
Shit.
Yeah. We got one last show before we got to get into that. So maybe 2.
So what we gonna do? A leader each week?
Say it again.
What we gonna do? A lead?
It's Black History Month. I never knew them to give us more than 4 weeks in that month. So how are we gonna do it again? I said we gonna pick 4 for that month. Do it again. Say that again.
So if we picking 4 for the month, then we do 1 each week.
Sound good, right?
Yeah, that sounds good. And then
it's two a week because don't we do two shows a week?
But why
So
we
then
gotta
that's
do
8.
2? Why we gotta do 2 a week? We could break it down where when we got brothers that ain't do their homework, like you seem to be the one today, then we can always bring it back, with the rest of the recap, like we talking about. We'll do on Wednesday with this one. We'll give us the Russell results. We'll find out what you thinking about still in the EMMETT. We'll go into the proverb and we'll figure out the topic of that day still. Okay. That's usually how that'll roll.
Oh yeah,
that sounds like a plan. However, whichever way we make it happen, I'll be ready.
And Kansas City might lose to Buffalo, so don't
cut it out, man. Cut it out, man. Let's stop talking. Stop talking just because you got a phone.
Nah, Josh Allen.
That's the only way you just Google to see who playing.
No, that's what I'm saying.
To see who was playing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So Mahomes looking whack.
Well, we can do all of that on Wednesday. We can do the breakdown. Who do you have? I said I got Kansas City and I like Green Bay. Who do you have?
I got Green Bay. Damn, AFC. God damn. Cincinnati. People sleeping on Cincinnati.
This nigga said the Bengals.
The Bengals just won tonight. First time they didn't win since 1988.
That's a lie. They won last week. I'm about to say they won last week to get there. They was to the wild card last week.
It's the first time they've been to the
AFC
first
Time
Championship.
them niggas made it and passed the wild card and the next one.
Since 1988.
AFC Championship.
So who you got hold on. I said I have Kansas City. And I said I got Green Bay. You said Green Bay and who?
Or Cincinnati. Which I don't want them to, which I don't.
Cincinnati. And who you have, Banger?
Yeah, that's gonna have to be a to be continued. I'm gonna have to let y'all know. Well, I definitely got Tampa Bay. I definitely got Tampa Bay.
Oh, you feeling Brady-ish still?
Yeah. Like I'm rocking with Tampa Bay right now.
They losing them all. They losing them all.
Nah, I doubt they're gonna lose them all, but we'll see what happens though.
Who they playing?
The Rams. They losing them all.
Rams pretty fast, but I don't know about a lose.
Odell Beckham is a problem.
It's a lot of problems, but
it's a problem.
You still got to get them problems to work that day.
It is.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
And the spirit of Antonio Brown is going to come alive tomorrow.
It's going to come alive. I hear that.
Spirit of Antonio Brown. This nigga going to be like, damn, we need this nigga. Watch.
I hear
The
that.
spirit.
So
Jalen
Banger,
Ramsey
Banger,
is
you
on
got.
the other side.
Let
I'm
me
telling you,
get
that nigga-
everybody predictions again. So Banger, you got Tampa Bay and you got who?
See, I don't know. I don't know who they gonna go against.
You know, we ain't
I just
Buffalo
asking
got
you.
might.
I'm just asking you to
Buffalo
pick another
might.
team.
Buffalo
All right,
might be
so
in it. I got Buffalo. Fuck that.
so Tampa Bay and
Oh, this man want Buffalo,
I
Cincinnati.
is
I hate Buffalo.
Pittsburgh still in it or they out?
Hell no, they
Nah,
out.
they died last week.
All right, so I got Green Bay then.
Green Bay.
We'll see who make it. This is another episode of Be Your Own Therapist. We appreciate everybody that tune in now, who's going to tune in the future. You can go listen to this on Spotify, on Apple, on Google, on Anchor, and other platforms to be announced. I would have to know exactly what they are for me to let you know. I apologize. There's at least 2 more. I don't know them offhand. This is Landlord.
This your man Dbanger Thomas, people of the world.
And he said it so blatant. Like, that's how his shit. Next week, we got to get 3 episodes. Pop got to be back on with the visuals because he's playing this. He can't even design his avatar when he go out. So he really playing us out. But we're going to get Papo back up here, you know, the presence. And we're going to have fun.
We was only on here for 2 minutes. Okay, this good timing.
This is Be Your Own Therapist, man.
I'll holler at y'all later.